Okay, that's enough of that. I still haven't figured out a video playing friggin' local elevator music from the YouTube audio library. Okay, so we are starting off again, 2 o'clock, and I've got unboxing to do. What the heck is on my screen right now? Make sure I got this set up right. Oh, yeah. There we go. Hey, camera's up. Got my mascot, top view. And let me close a few windows so I know what the heck I'm looking at. And a sip of coffee, and then we'll get started. Ooh, I'm running out of coffee already. Oh, it's been a full week. I have been sitting on packages since frickin' Monday. Sitting on packages since Monday, getting a real bad itch to open some of this stuff up, and it's been driving me kind of nuts. So finally able to open some stuff. I've got, actually, it's not a huge amount, but I've got some big boxes. I might have lost my mind a little bit on a few purchases. Hey, Morgan, how you doing? Okay, so let's make sure I've got everything off to the side. We're going to be going over, first of all, the unboxings. Then I've got a bunch of stuff I want to talk about, mainly in regards to the auction that I'll be holding tomorrow. Hey, Waylon, how you doing? Just getting started. Let's see here. I'm just making sure I've got everything situated. I woke up a little late, so it's kind of a late start. Well, not a late start, but I'm still actually getting kind of ready. There you are. I was looking for this. A package opener. Okay. I think we're good. So let's... Ooh, I've got so many things in my way. We just realized that I'm going to be running over. All right. But like I said, I've got a lot to talk about. A lot of it has to do with the auction I'll be holding tomorrow and whatnot, because I need to make room. I'm sitting here doing an unboxing, and here I am talking about needing to make room. Let's start unboxing now. Okay, do I have everything? Yeah, these are the mics. That can go there for now. And today is pretty much going to be, oh my God, it's going to be predominantly knives from a seller on Whatnot named Chasing Blades. I got a couple others from different sellers, but the majority is going to be from Chasing Blades. I'm going to go ahead and start with everybody else, and then we'll leave the Chasing Blades, packages for last. Wow, okay, burpees for last. The first one I'm going to open up, this one's from James Hounds. And I have been sitting on this one. I've been sitting on almost all these packages since Monday. I think only 2 of these packages came later in the week. And it's been driving me nuts. Let's get this open. And ooh, I cut through the invoice. I forgot to bring the garbage can in here. I should grab that. This one again is from James Hounds, and oh, you wrapped this up nice. Didn't come with a box. Yes, I was using elevator music. You didn't say anything. I was wondering what. Either that or you're like lagging quite a bit behind. I gotta change the blade on this later. Let's see. This one was from James Hounds, and from what I understand, this is a first run knife. From, if I remember correctly, Frost Cutlery. And something that I haven't seen them do yet. Not that I'm an expert on Frost Cutlery or anything. But I guess they started doing a first run of these knives. And I tried to get them all. I managed to get one. Okay, hold on. Let me grab the garbage can. Okay, garbage can, which is already full, of course. Yeah, I can stuff more in here. Step in it. Okay. I might need another garbage bag. Okay, garbage bag. Just realize this bag in here is already full. That doesn't help me out at all. All right, let's put that off to the side for now. All right, like I said, this one is a first run, I believe, from Frost Cutlery. Yes, Frost Cutlery. And I've never seen any from them before. Not that I've really looked very hard. But this is an elephant toe. And limited edition. It's got a half stop, a little loose on the half stop. But I don't know, I have a thing for elephant toes. The funny thing is I hate feet. Oh god, this one's hard. Why is this one so hard to take out? Ooh! That one's got a snap. Alright, I don't have... You'd think I'd have my nail nick out, but no, I didn't bring my nail nick out. So the only thing... Oh, I can use this. Let's see if I can take it out with this. It does not like opening. And I don't have enough nail. Okay, well that's going to stay in there for a little bit. That's got a strong spring to it. And again, this, from what I understand, is a first run. Says limited edition on there. What did I put? There we go. Yes, I have everything to the side. The small blade doesn't have anything written on it, but I bent my freaking nail. At least I didn't slice anything. It says on there, limited edition. Oh, focus. Yeah, limited edition Frost Cutlery. First production run. So pretty nice snap. I wish I could get that other knife out. I don't have my nail nick out. Now, I don't expect much from a first production run. In fact, it's a little loose there. I wonder if there's anything I can do about that. Thankfully, these weren't super expensive. Got a little bit of cracking there. But I wanted to check it out since it was a first run. And I'm kind of hoping they do more. You got the well in there for what I can see. I can't remove that other blade. That other blade, the spring on this blade is freaking strong. So this is something I'm going to keep an eye on and see what happens when they go into, like I said, this is a limited edition first production. So once they go into regular production, let's see how those go. I really love elephant toes. They generally tend to be a little hard to come by, though. And they also tend to be a bit more expensive. But we will put that off to the side, because we've got plenty to go through. And this is... I use this for paracord making. We're going to go over that, too. Thomas, how are you doing? Did I not get the new drawers in? No, I did not get the new drawers in. But I have everything kind of like segregated now. So now I know where everything is segregated in a specific spot, like my cloths, my polishing stuff, my sharpening stuff. Now, the hard part is making sure my brain remembers where I put each section. That's the hard part. But I do have all my cloths together. I do have all my polishing stuff together. So at least that's there. Speaking of polishing stuff, I get my oil. I have my wax. And I just dropped something. Oh, there we go. I even found this. Okay, so that was from James Hounds. I've got a couple of envelopes from here from Chasing Blades, but we're gonna leave Chasing Blades till the end. We've got another one from Appalachia. This one I've been waiting for. I don't know why I opened the bottom of the box, but whatever. So how's everybody's week been so far? Mine has, as usual, been pretty busy. All right. From Appalachia, freeze-dried knives. I love this guy. Because what does he do? He gives me candy. Chaotic, how you doing? I don't know what this is. He gives you, anytime I get something from freeze-dried knives, I get candy samples. Not like we don't order candy from him already, but if this is what I think it is, oh hell yeah. And these are freeze-dried Skittles, and I'm pretty sure this is freeze-dried either maple or bit of honey. God dang it. We'll find out. I know these are Skittles. You're exhausted? Slept less than 4 hours last night. Ooh, I really did a number on my nail. Trying to open that one knife. I'm curious about these. I want to know. I'm pretty sure we already have a big bag of these. Uh-huh. That's bit of honey. I may have developed a third problem. Yes, I may have developed diabetes is what I probably developed. Oh, God. Hold on. I'm going to finish the rest of that. Oh. We have boxes of freeze-dried candy. Not all from freeze-dried knives, but my girlfriend's been ordering quite a bit, too. Ever since she discovered freeze-dried candy, she's been like, oh, my God. Because she doesn't like she like hard candies and chewy candies she doesn't like so much because it doesn't number on her teeth. So the freeze-dried stuff has been amazing for her. And she eats like 10 times the candy that I do. And for some odd reason, she's nowhere even near close to being diabetic. I, however, have just gained diabetes just from eating that piece. Okay, from freeze-dried knives, what we've got is a case knife. Now, case knives, they make a lot of traditional knives, like I got a lot of Rough Ryder. I got some Queen. I've got Imperial. But case is kind of like where you start getting into the high-end stuff. They're USA made, and they tend to be quite a bit more expensive. This has been a series of knives, another series of knives that I've been wanting to get my hands on and finally have been able to. And this one, try to open the box a little more carefully. Let's see here. These tend to be hard to find. Okay, nothing. We got some stuff in the box, papers, whatnot. These tend to be pretty hard to find, or a lot of times they can be sold out. Not that they stop production in them. They just, people like them so much. This is a green apple trapper. I just love the color on these. And they've got so many varieties. But what do they call this? Green apple bone peach seed jig trapper. They love their long titles too. But a green apple bone peach seed jig trapper, number 27860. This one was born actually pretty recently, 6/19/25. And I really love the trappers. Something about, they got two blades. You got your California clip point and then your spay blade. Oh, that is a nice finish on those blades. Well, yes, Jolly Rancher Green. Case are great knives. And I really like the green apple. There's a couple of series that I really like from Case. There's a lot of series I like from Case. Green apple is one of them. The one that's really hard to get and hard to find are the PB&Js, which like are a purple and brown, like grape jelly and peanut butter, and the sea dragons, which are like, I'd like to say bluish and green. I'm trying to remember what they look like. And then a lot of the wood scaled cases are absolutely gorgeous. And I really like the trappers. These are I've gotten a real big liking for these trappers. Trappers are the ones where you have two blades off to one side, the California clip point, and normally a spade blade as well. They have a mini version, slightly smaller than this, and of course they have different patterns like your I think they had, what's the one, a Barlow, sod busters, things like that. But absolutely beautiful green bone, and just their fit and finish. I mean, Rough Rider does great. Don't get me wrong, but their fit and finish on the case knives are outstanding. Um, the only real complaint I have with a lot of case knives is they seem to come up a little short when it comes to the sharpening out of the box. Because there's been a lot of cases where you can see some fuzz on the edge of the blade, and that's because there's a tiny, tiny burr on some parts of the edge, and it's like they did sharpen it. These things are sharp, but on some parts they didn't fully remove the burr. Now, when I collect knives like this, these are knives that I get. I have no intention of reselling. These are mine. So I'll probably, if I run that over a strop, I could probably remove that burr without issue. Actually, let me see if I can do that now. I don't know if the strop will do it, but maybe a light once over with a very fine ceramic if the strop doesn't do it enough. And I'm not applying really any pressure other than practically just the weight of the blade. And that's already removed most of the burr. Yeah, it just needed stropping. But because of that, and I didn't get the inner edge. But just removing that burr alone turns this into a very sharp edge. I mean, it was just that little tiny. Whoa, it was just that little tiny burr. That was. Oh, now I'm nervous about closing this. It was just that tiny burr that kept it from being like perfect. The food names are getting out of hand. Yeah, green apple, the peanut butter jelly, sea dragon's not food, but absolutely gorgeous. I've been wanting one of these for a long while and finally got my hands on them. It's hard to get unless, like, these are going to be expensive no matter how you look at it, especially case. And even with the auctions, a lot of sellers, if they're a distributor for case, or if they work with case, they end up having to sell at a map, which is a minimum, I think, minimum advertised pricing. So they're not allowed to go below that. If they're caught going below that, they could lose their distribution agreement with case. So very rarely are you going to find a case for very cheap unless they're either a really big distributor, or if they're selling case secondhand, in which case they can price it however the hell they want if it's secondhand or technically used. This one I got new, and so I think the minimum advertised pricing on this one was just under 70 for this. So I still believe I got a deal because anywhere else I tend to look, they get pricey. I think on average, I believe this one tends to go for just under 70. I think I paid like minimum advertising. I think was 67 on this one, and I'll see this go anywhere from 60 from that price to like $80, depending on where you go. And I'm totally murdering the paper. Not that I'm trying to keep the paper, but I just want it back in the box until I can go over it with some oil and wax and stuff. Although the people I get these from, I know well enough that I know they take really good care of their stuff. Okay, so that was the Case Green Apple Trapper. We're gonna do a gear shift here. This one is from Titan Knives. It's been a little while since I got a Titan knife. I think I had one Titan knife. Was it last week? The non-Damascus. Was a non-Damascus knife with a bone handle. I can't remember if that was last week or the week before. The candy didn't make you hungry. The knife made you hungry. Coffee. Okay. So this one is from Titan. Oh, the hell is this? He wrapped it up in a sticker. That's a first. I know he was working on getting stickers done. So, what else is in here? He also likes to add a little extra stuff now and then to what. Oh, he added something completely different. What the hell is this? Oh! I see what he did. Oop! Shook the camera. I see what he did. Now, a lot of times when you buy a knife from Titan, in a lot of cases, you get to choose what kind of sheath you want with it. And, excuse me. And in this case, I had chosen this sheath for the knife that I purchased. However, he went ahead and threw in the other sheath as well, so I have both of them now. This one is a vertical carry. I think they're both vertical carries. Yeah. Or this one can do a horizontal carry as well. And also comes with a little, like, I forgot what they call this. Honing stone or honing bar. I've had other knives or razors come with this. But he included both sheaths with it. So that's pretty cool. I originally wanted this one. Not that I'm arguing with this one. And this is one I didn't expect to see from Titan Knives. This is a traditional knife from Titan International with a Damascus blade. And this is also a trapper. We've got brown bone scales. And this is pretty. If you were to try like a freeze-dried Skittle without knowing it was a Skittle, just a piece of candy, I don't think you'd mind. It just makes it's a crunchy Skittle as opposed to a chewy Skittle. I can understand if you didn't like the ice cream or marshmallows and stuff like that. I can understand that too. Okay, so this one is a trapper, meaning two blades, a California clip point, and a spade blade. Oh, done in Damascus. Wow, that's got a really nice detent to it. Now, somebody else had bought one also from in this group that I belong to on Discord, and he said these came in really sharp, and he cut himself pretty good when he was opening it up. So I'm trying to be extra careful. The one thing I forgot to put away was my cut gloves, so I don't know exactly where I put them. So I'm trying to be extremely careful with this. The patterning on the Damascus on this trapper is absolutely beautiful. He's got it well oiled. Let's see the other side of that. That is gorgeous. Yeah, that's the oil you see in there. That brownish stuff. And he said that these were super sharp. Oh, holy crap. That is sharp. He wasn't kidding. Wow, he did a number on these blades. And I can feel this whole thing was covered in oil. They take good care of it. They don't want it rusting on the way there. The well could probably use a little cleaning in there. But otherwise, and that the bone itself looks absolutely gorgeous as well. I love the look of that bone. Jerry, welcome to the stream. So an absolutely gorgeous trapper from Titan International. I've got so many Titan knives. I've actually am thinking about, I need to make room. There are some Titan knives I might end up selling to make room for new ones. This one's definitely going to be a keeper though. Oh, it's sharp. Yes, touches the blade a second. Of course, I've got to re-verify. So I am a little nervous about closing this one because again, I don't have my cut gloves. A good snap on them. This is the one that worries me. There we go. There's no half stop on these trappers, so you do it too fast, you're gonna cut yourself. That's got a good snap to it. That is a beautiful knife. I forgot which one. What was his name? Gag? In Discord? There's a Discord that somebody made for Titan knives that a bunch of us have joined, and so we talk knives all the time. I think he got a black bone one. I could be wrong. Okay, yeah, he got the black bone one. I wanted the brown. But the funny thing is, when I went to his auction, to Titan's auction, I was looking at buying another lockback. And so he had this sitting there. So I'm looking at the lockbacks. I won the auction. And as soon as I was trying to pick out which lockback I wanted, I saw this on the table. And I'm like, that looks like a trapper. And I immediately changed gears and got this instead. And got it for a damn good price. $500. No, I'm kidding. In fact, I can't remember how much I paid for it. He doesn't have an invoice in there. He just has a thank you. I can't remember how much I paid, but it wasn't that much. It was a pretty good deal. A little bit more than a rough Ryder, probably like, if I remember correctly, I think it was like $20-something, just under 30. But pretty nice knife, and I love the fact that he threw in both. He threw in both sheaths for it. I love that. Does that fit? Oh yeah, that does. That's cool. So now I have an extra sheath. I don't know what I'm going to do. Anyway, awesome. From Titan Knives. I'm not going to eat any more candy because I have no idea if that's food safe oil. It's probably food safe oil. I know he likes to use food safe oil. It could be cooking oil, for crying out loud. Okay, so that was... We opened up a toe from Frost Cutlery. That was a first run. We opened up a case. And we opened up something from Titan International. And I realized now I need a towel. There we go. My rags. Okay, now for the rest of the unboxings. The reason why I was saving these is because they're all from Chasing Blades. And I've got like 4 packages from them. 2 of them small. 2 of them really, really big. I'm trying to figure out where I want to put these. There we go. We'll just put that there for now. The first, we'll start off with the smallest one. We'll go from small to big. So we got this one from Chasing Blades. I have a feeling I know what this is. Chasing Blades had restocked on a lot of their Rough Ryder and case knives. And I had also had the misfortune of just getting paid. You make leather slips? Oh, nice. I have so many leather slips, and I need more. This one, oh, I've been waiting for this one. I've been waiting for all of them. Who am I kidding? This one is another case knife from Chasing Blades. Now, I was just talking about like the green apple trapper that I just unboxed, and a few others that I would really love to get my hands on. The PB&J tends to be super expensive. They keep running out of stock, and I think the normal cost for a PB&J would normally run like $80, depending on the type of pattern. But going to the auctions, since you can never get them, they're always out of stock. I think they start running around the 200s. That's how hard it is to get a PB&J right now. Same with the Sea Dragons. Maybe the Sea Dragons might be a little less. So those are two series that I'd love to get my hands on. I haven't been able to. But the other series I mentioned were the wood scaled series. And this one is a black curly oak trapper. And as soon as I saw this on Chasing Blades table, I fell in love. I fall in love with like half his table. This one is a black curly oak, and it just looks gorgeous. I have a thing for wood and bone handles. I love the look of this wood. He's got snake wood also. I think he had a burley oak, or was it the same thing? Curly oak. These come in a number of different patterns. Again, I happen to be partial to the trapper, which this is. Again, we have a California clip and a spay blade, and there's I can see some fuzz on there. So we probably got a very light burr on this one as well. Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's probably the only complaint I have on case is their finishing. I'm surprised they leave a very small like micro burr. Now it's nothing for me to remove it. And like I said, what I just did with that green apple trapper, I just ran it over a strop and was able to remove that burr really easily. And removing that burr turns that knife just razor sharp. So I'm surprised they don't just finish it at that point to remove that burr, unless it's part of, I don't know, maybe they expect us to do it? Which would be strange. And again, it doesn't take much to remove. Like, I just used that strop, and it's just about gone aside from like the very tip. And again, removing that burr makes that edge really, really sharp. Like, that's all it needed. And again, it's not difficult to do. Doesn't need much. And I'm not even pressing down. It's just the weight of the blade, really. The weight of the knife. And then that burr is gone. And once it's gone, it's a razor's edge. I could probably easily shave with this knife. I think I still have just a micro smallest burr on here. Okay. There's a little bit here and there, but I don't want to spend the whole video removing that burr. Kevin, how you doing? Oh, Doc! Glad to see you. You purchased Sea Dragons before they went crazy high. They were yeah, they were under $100 normally. If you can get them retail from a retail store like SMKW, Smoky Mountain Knife Works, or Chicago. I don't know if Chicago had them. Chicago Knife Works. I'm trying to think of who else. But if you were able to get them before they got crazy popular, you can easily get them for under $100. Now on the auctions, which is like the only place you can get the Sea Dragon or peanut butter, $200 easily. $200 easily. What's the item number on this one? This one is it's a black curly oak wood smooth trapper number 14000, or I don't know if that's the number you want. 7254 SS. This one was born in February of this year, 2020-25. And you can see they had written down like $89. That's the number there. But I paid, if I remember correctly, like 70 something. Yeah. Again, the only complaint I have with Case, I love Case, and this is such a minor complaint, is just the micro burrs that they leave. But otherwise, absolutely gorgeous. Oh, the Titan. You've never heard of Titan before. Titan International Knives is actually local to me. They're in Illinois. The knives are USA made. I know there's a lot of Pakistani steel out there too as well and such. Oh, now I know your government name. I'm gonna stalk you now. But I've seen like Pakistan steel or Damascus steel blades go for really cheap on other sites, but the fit and finish that Titan has on their knives trump pretty much any of those other knives that I've picked up in the past that were like I said, like foreign made. And like that trapper that I showed you from Titan, absolutely beautiful fit and finish. Super sharp blade, and I don't have enough good words to say on a lot of his stuff. I'm finding that some of my favorites, other than the fixed blade knives that Titan International puts out, are probably they're trappers, but their lockbacks were favorites of mine, as well as the fixed blades. And I feel bad, but I actually am thinking about selling a couple of the older Titans that I've received to make room for like more Titans, like the lockbacks, or if he has any more trappers. I kind of want more. Titan International Knives. I'll try to remember to link their website, or actually I could do that now. Give me a second. Let me do that now, because otherwise I will forget. Because I have the memory of a donut. And let me see if I can get their website. So give me a minute. Titan. Okay. It's Titan in -international.us. And what I'll do is I'll just edit the description real quick. And I'll throw this in there. I'll let you know as soon as it's up in the description. I don't know if he had a specific title for that one. But oops. Okay, I put it down in there. You can't. I'm talking about like some of the first ones that I need to make room for, because I have a magnetic bar. I might get a second magnetic bar now that I have to get rid of them. I don't really want to. but I'm realizing I have way too much room. Or wait, not no, I misspoke. I have way too little room. In fact, I'm holding an auction tomorrow with a bunch of stuff, not just knives, but I have a bunch of stuff I'm holding an auction for tomorrow. It's going to be on Whatnot. And I've got guitar effect pedals. I've got shoes that are brand spanking new. My feet are just not toddler sized. I've got even a shirt. I've made a ton of paracord bracelets and stuff. But we'll get to that later. But I need to make some room, and that's part of the reason. I'm rearranging stuff so that way I don't have to. It's just maybe. Yes, I saw the knife storage link. So I part of it, knife storage is great, but I have to also figure out a place to put that knife storage. It's not just a matter of organizing my knives. It's like, even if I got a nice, like, I've got cases for my knives, but I still need room for the cases. So that's part of the thing. All right, so let's go on with, because I still got 3 more packages. We've got Chasing Blades again. The rest of these are all going to be from Chasing Blades. I only had the one Titan purchase that week. So this one, oh, he was nice on this one. The guy from Chasing Blades is awesome. Super friendly guy. He's also hilarious. I like making him laugh. For some odd reason, it's easy to make him laugh. I've got a case card, which I've got a bunch of these. This is just a descriptor card. So it helps you identify different patterns, the anatomy of a case knife, what the numbers might mean. Yeah, I know. I need to build. I live in an apartment, though. They don't like me hammering on the walls. You got the different etchings, or stamps, probably what I should call them, for case knife handle materials and how you tell that. I've got like half a dozen of these already. A lot of times I can get those cards for $1, and I'll do that to help out a seller if they're trying to get like to a certain amount of sales. And I think Chasing Blades just recently hit 1K. We got a case knife slip, which is really cool. This one's a herringbone one. Stamped with case. Yeah, I need to get some standalone shelving. The problem is, again, I got to figure out where I'm going to put the standalone shelving. Floor space is at a... This is not a very big apartment. Floor space is at a premium. Yeah, brown herringbone bone knife slip, which this is my second one from them. I'll be using that almost immediately. And he was kind enough to throw in... Oh, no. This one I bought. He threw in some polish last time. I bought some ceramic sealant, which he swears by. And I might give this a try. Basically, what he'll do is he'll clean and oil a knife, and then he uses a ceramic sealant to help protect it. This one's good for up to 1 year protection for gun bluing, all metals, fiberglass, gun bow wraps, wood stocks, glass. Oh my god, I'm going to use this on everything. Glass scopes, flat mat plastic holsters, ceramic gun and knife sealant, water resistant, heat resistant, colorless, odorless, non-abrasive, safe on cold bluing, will not gloss or shine flat, matte finishes or wraps. I don't believe this is food safe though. So I probably would not use this on anything that you plan on using to cut food with. If you have a knife that you're gonna be cutting food with, I would stick with a food safe oil or a food safe wax and do it at that. But for anything that I'm not going to use on food, this sounds like it'll be freaking awesome. You have 7-foot tall DVD shelving. I want to get a thin one. I just got a bunch of... There's an area I could put a shelf that I'm thinking of doing, but I've got a bunch of rifle cases that are stacked up there. So I'd have to find a place for the rifle cases, which I don't know what I would do. Okay, so the big thing that was in that box was another case knife. Yes, I've been on a case kick. This one is a 6.5 bone stag trapper. This one is going to be a user because I've been wanting a case knife to carry around with me and use. I have a bunch of Rough Riders that I carry around with me, but I just really wanted a case. And this is actually, the funny thing is I opened these kind of in reverse order. This was the first case knife that I got from Chasing Blades, and it's a 6.5 bone trapper or bone stag trapper. And again, a trapper having 2 blades, your California clip point. And this one is different because instead of a spade blade, you got a Warncliffe blade, which is really, really cool. And I love the finish they do on the blades. Super shiny. You can kind of see me, kind of not. And USA made. All case knives are USA made. I don't believe they make anything from anything overseas. Again, we've got a slight burr on that edge. I'll fix that later because I don't sell any. I don't collect to resell, so I don't have a problem with using anything I have. The problem I have with using certain knives is sometimes they're just too pretty to use. Like, I want to use this knife. I probably will use this knife, but I'll probably be hesitant to use this knife. And this one, they call it a 6.5 bone stag because what this is the scales on this knife are. Let me close this before I slice myself. I mean, there's a slight burr on it, but they're still sharp. It's a 6.5 bone stag because these scales aren't made with stag. They're actually made of real bone, but they're made to look like stag antler. And so that's why they call it a 6.5 bone stag. But they look. I've seen some stag knives, and a lot of them look beautiful, but the bone stags, a lot of times I've seen bone stags that have surpassed in terms of how pretty they are, that have surpassed even actual stag. And actual stag will tend to up the price quite a bit. You're out of room on your shelving? You need another? Go get another one. So, absolutely awesome knife. This one will go into a slip. And I just got to polish up that edge. And we'll probably go over what I do. Because some of you guys I know Morgan knows what I do with knives as soon as they get them in. So does Waylon. Chaotic might. But I'll be doing a lot more with these knives as the show goes on. You see what I do to take care of my knives when I add them to a collection. And I still got 2 more boxes from Chasing Blades. And these are boxes. Yeah, I might have gotten a little crazy when I got paid. Let me just get that. Get in there. Yeah, okay, fine. Be that way. I'll probably be putting that in a slip anyway. Okay, that goes off to the side. Now, for the boxes. Also from Chasing Blades. Slight OCD. Oh, just slight. Now this, I kind of opened these backwards because the case knives I got were like the latest acquirements, whereas these I got earlier. It's just when they came in, they didn't come in time. These 2 boxes were the ones that I was hoping I would have gotten for last week's unboxing, but they didn't make it in on time. These I know hold a good deal of Rough Rider, and we got peanuts. Which means I have to dig. Oh, dang it. I just want to make sure there's not an invoice poking out around in here. Okay, so we've got that's one. That's two. That's three. That's four. That's another one. Oh my god, what did I do? That's another one. I am already grounded. I think that's everything. Oh my god, was there an invoice in here? I don't see an invoice in here. I'm still digging around in the peanuts. Unless he wrote the invoice on some peanuts. There's peanuts in my peanuts. Okay, well, that's a mess. Alright. I don't see an invoice in there. Ugh. Okay, so I might have gotten a little Rough Ryder happy. Rough Ryder are some of my favorite knives to collect because they're pretty darn inexpensive. And I have a tendency to snap them up any chance I get when I can get them under 2 digits. And I have a feeling there's a lot of sellers that do not like me. Because there's a lot of sellers, I tend to grab them for under $10. Chasing Blades does enough volume. I don't think he understands if he starts something at $1, there's a darn good chance that it could sell at $1. I have this now pet peeve with some auctioneers where they tend to be whiny and complaining. And it gets really annoying now. Where they'll be like, okay, I need $50 on this, but we're going to dollar start. And then the thing goes for like $5 or $10. Like sells for $5 or $10. And if, I don't know if it's just for show, but then they pitch a fit. And they're like, I can't believe that got stolen. Or it's like, oh, you're taking food away from my kids. And I've actually heard that term. I've actually heard somebody go, you're taking food away from my kids and stuff like that. And I'm just thinking, dude, if you didn't want to sell for that low, yeah, Kevin knows what I'm talking about. If you didn't want to sell it that low, don't start it that low. At the very least, if you don't want to lose money on it, sell it for or start it for what you got. If you got it for $20 and you don't want to lose money on it, then start it at $20. If somebody really wants it, they're going to buy it. If somebody really wants it, they're going to bid it up anyway. But don't complain if you have a $50 knife that sold for $2 because he started it at $1. That's not on them. That's on you as a seller. I don't know why I'm pointing to my squirrel. That's not on you either. Don't feel bad. I love you. Okay. But yeah, don't complain if you start it low and it goes for low. I hate that. Never got a complaint from Chasing Blades. I've bought knives from Chasing Blades for $1. He started them at $1. I got him at $1. And he's still happy. He's happy you got a deal. Dude's amazing. He's just the nicest guy. And I love his laugh, which is why I like making him laugh. Makes me giggle inside. So there are times where I will nab knives for under 2 digits, and a lot of them tend to be Rough Riders. And as you can see, I may have nabbed a few. I turned these over specifically so you didn't see exactly what they were. But yeah, that's become a pet peeve of mine. There have been knife sellers that I've bought knives from in the past that I just don't watch anymore because I got tired of the complaining. And I know for some people it's show. Like there's a big seller. He's huge. He sells thousands a day. Not knives, but I think he does mainly shoes. And he'll go, I can't believe you stole that. But then he'll finish up with I'm kidding. I love you guys. You guys are freaking amazing. Glad you got that. So he'll complain, but you know he's joking about it. Whereas there's some people that get seriously ticked off because something got sold for less than what they wanted. And I just don't get it. Don't sell it for what don't start it at a price you don't want it to go at. If you set something for $1, there's a very damn good chance it's going to go for $1. Even I understood that when I did my first auction. Anyway, enough of that rant. We're getting into the Rough Rider phase. Now, he didn't include the invoice, so I'm only guessing, but I highly doubt I got any of these for maybe one or two of these might have gone for $10, but most of these probably went for $1. And I had, yep, Morgan, it's gonna be your favorite. Is this why I started? Wait, what? What are you talking about? I got a sniffle. Hold on a second. My allergies are going haywire. Oh, the shoe guys tend to be the absolute worst. I'm talking about Cool Kicks though. Cool Kicks is the biggest seller on there, and he does complain. But the funny thing is, he jokes around, and he's like, I really love you guys. But there are some shoe sellers out there that are just horrible. Like I saw one was selling Labubus, and he was getting taken. Like Labubus sell for like $50 to $60. He had Labubus going for like between 20 and 30. He actually rage quit his auction. Are you too whiny? Yes. No, maybe. I don't know. I love you. You know that, Morgan. No, but this seller actually rage quit his own auction because the Labubus he was selling were going for too low what he wanted. Who rage quits their auction? And he's a bigger seller too, which I thought was funny. But anyway, you're gonna love these, Morgan. You know what I got. You know what's in here. You don't. Can you guess? I'm having Morgan guess. Bite. These are knives I have a hard time resisting. However, I'm having an easier time resisting because I've been collecting so many of them that now it's getting harder for me to find one that I don't already have. And after opening this box, it's going to be even tougher for me to find a knife or a type of these knives that I don't already have. So I think I've done the brunt of my damage on these blades. Yes. It's a lady's leg. I love these things. I love these knives. And they make me laugh every time. They just make me giggle because I'm reminded of A Christmas Story and the lady leg lamp. And ever since I saw that, I bought my first like lady leg knife on Whatnot. And then I started snatching these up left and right. Anytime I saw a lady's leg, I was like, "Oh, that's mine. I've got to have it now." And I joked that I was going to make a lady pillar knife, which was I was going to get all my lady legs, line them up, get another knife as a body, and make like a long ass like knife a pillar or whatever. I'm still looking for a good one for the body. I think I have one or two knives that would make a good body. But this one, I don't know what this one is, or what type of scale that is. I'm pretty sure it's bone, like a blue bone. This one has a number of RR1269. He has 1295 stamped on it or written on it. All of his lady legs that I've gotten, I think, started at $1. I'm pretty sure I got this for under 10. Again, I'm guessing. I don't spend too much on lady. Like if there's a certain price I'll go up to for a lady leg because they're really not that expensive to begin with. But awesome clip point blade. It's a very useful knife. It's just such an odd shape, but I love it. I just simply love it. And this is their. Oh, this is a Rough Rider with a Y, with a Chevy badge on it. Nice snap. I love these knives. I can't get enough of these. I have a feeling that most of these are going to be lady legs. Another one that wasn't originally in my collection. Like I said, I'm grabbing a lot of these, but I'm slowly completing my collection of these things. I don't even know how many lady leg knives I have currently. I'm over 10 different legs, I think. At least with this shipment, I think I'm over 10 legs. But that is an absolutely gorgeous one. They're all gorgeous to me. This one is probably... Do I have this one already? No, I don't. Another lady's leg. This is a midnight swirl. This is one of the reasons why I love collecting Rough Riders. As one, they're actually really good quality. First, as inexpensive, I don't want to use the word cheap. They are cheap, but I don't like to use the word for them because they're really good quality knives. Uh, so I try to remember to use the word inexpensive because a lot of these knives you can grab for under $10, and there's a good variety of them, and also their scales to me are absolutely beautiful. They do a really good job with their scales. You thought you were hallucinating seeing the Chevy badge? Yeah, it's got a lot of the older Rough Riders have a Chevy badge to it. This one's got an actual shield on it. But I've got razors with the same black swirl. I think the razor is called a Black Widow. But the scales on the Rough Rider knives have always been really pretty. Their QC might not be up in line with case, but they're pretty damn good. And I've never had to hesitate about questioning a Rough Rider knife. And this one has what's this say on this on the blade? They're all 440 stainless steel, unless specifically mentioned. You know, they've got Rough Rider blades that have different steels, but they're all predominantly 440 stainless. I think 440A, maybe either 440A or 440C. Midnight swirl etched on the blade. Let's see there. Little hard. There we go. Midnight swirl etched in there. 440 stainless steel. And just the scales. I mean, they're just gorgeous. Whether they're in the shape of a lady's leg or not. Absolutely beautiful. Good snap on that one also. Oh, I'm going to have my work cut out for me. Every time I do one of these lives over the last few weeks, especially with some of those that I've had so many packages in, I then I'm up to like 2 o'clock in the morning, oiling, polishing, preparing to put in my collection knives, and this is gonna be another long night. This this is not a lady's leg. This is a Rough Rider Appaloosa. This is a pink Appaloosa. I was just talking about how much I love the look of Rough Rider scales. The black and the pink Appaloosas are some of my favorites, just because the way that bone looks. This one is a pink Appaloosa. What's the number on this one? RR1405. And I think this one, I'm pretty sure I paid maybe $12 for, which in my opinion, I think was a steal. But I love the look of the black and the pink Appaloosas. Because of the way they're done, no two scales are going to look the same. And they are made of bone. We've got a Appaloosa shield, or like a horse shield for the badge. RR. And I'm pretty sure there's an engraving or an etching on the blade. Yep. California clip point and a spay blade. And this one has a nice half stop to it. We've got Appaloosa etched on the California clip point. Let's see there. And I'll give it to Rough Rider. Now, they might not have the mirror polishing that Case does, but no burrs. They might not get as sharp. I mean, I might have to sharpen them up a little bit more to get them to the sharpness of a Case, but they at least finish off removing the burr. I know I have to remove the burrs on the cases, but those do get razor sharp once that burr is removed. I don't know why they just don't do that. I don't know. It's just weird to me. But they don't have the same mirror polish that Case does, but they're still really well done blades. And like I said, a nice good half stop on this one. I can already feel good snap. What's that well look like? Well, could possibly use a little cleaning. anytime you get a new traditional, these wells in here, uh, they clean them, but sometimes you still get a little bit of machining dust or whatever left in the well, regardless of where you get it from. Not much, maybe a little bit. I'll probably oil and clean the inside of that. Yeah, Morgan doesn't like pink unless it's cherry blossom. Although this is a pretty close to cherry blossom pink, but I just love the look of the pink and the milk. Chasing Blades calls this milk, the white portion of the bone, and I just love the way it looks. This and the black have to be two of my favorite. This tortoise shell is another one of my favorites, and I don't know. I've got a lot of favorites. It's kind of hard to just say what a lot of them are, but the Appaloosas are definitely up there. That's awesome. I love that knife. All right. I have a feeling the rest got to be lady legs, though. What do we have in here? This is too big to be a lady's leg box, is it? We have a black and blue. Yep, it's lady leg. This is their black and blue. I think I've got two other black and blue scaled knives. One of the ones that I have that is done similar to this is a elephant toe. And again, same thing, lady leg, California clip point. The black and blue, I don't know if you can see yeah, you can see it here in the cam. There's jigging texture on the body. It's actually really similar to that first blue one that I opened, except for the jigging. And then you've got black liners underneath the blue. But the elephant toe that I have is very similar to that. Really cool. Again, love the lady legs. You're going to be indisposed for a few. Bob's travel trailer. Bob has a travel trailer? I'm not going to go into this too much. We've seen a lot of legs already. Unless something neat's there. Starting to sound like... This is my... The problem with me in collecting knives is people ask me what my favorite is. And it can change in the span of a day. I mean, I definitely have favorites. But anytime I look upon something new, it could very well change in a day. And the thing is I don't just buy knives. Like I said, I don't buy to resell. I buy to collect. I buy what I think I'm really going to like. I don't come across too many knives that I'm like, I bought this because I just want to sell it. And I'm not going to buy something I don't like. There were two exceptions. They were in my last auction. I sold them with a pair of cut gloves, actually, because they're so dangerous, in my opinion. Those were the only knives I've ever bought for sheer curiosity. But otherwise, I'm going to buy something that I'm pretty sure I know I'm going to like. So, in a way, everything I get is going to be a favorite. I don't know. You can take that as a cop-out. Everything I get is pretty much going to be a favorite. At least that's the way I see it. I'm not going to collect something I don't think I'm going to like. This one I know is a lady leg. This one's one I didn't have either. This one is a purple swirl. Similar to that midnight, the black swirl. This one is done in purple. Oh, I still got Chasing's blade fingerprint on this. He missed one. Similar to the black or the midnight swirl, where it was black and swirly. This one's a purple swirl. I kind of had to fight somebody for this one. Might have paid close to $10 on this one. But I love the swirl on this. Again, something about Rough Riders. They really know how to make a showy traditional knife. And the best part, again, is they might be showy, but they're still very good quality and very inexpensive. Like, I don't understand how they get so many good... There it is. So many good looking knives like this, and they don't cost very much at all. But then again, I don't know how much materials for something like this costs. I know this isn't real bone, it's synthetic. Got my sunshine cloth out now. I want to polish that bolster. Like, I'm still trying to figure out how they manage to sell these at such a low price, still make a profit, because these lady legs aren't very expensive. I think even on a lot of retail sites, in some cases they might go over $10, but in a lot of cases you'll find them for under 10. I know there's not a huge call for lady legs unless you're me. I just find them funny, unique. I love the unique. And again, they remind me of A Christmas Story and that lady leg lamp. Gorgeous purple swirl. And I got my first one, and then I just went nuts over them, and I've had to collect every one I've seen since. I still have some willpower, though. I won't overpay for one. Usually. Maybe. I hope not. Okay, last one. Pretty sure this is a lady's leg as well. This one is a copper. Yep. Copper swirl. So we have copper bolsters on this one, and another type of swirl, almost like a raindrop swirl. And the copper, this one has a nice patina on it. Again, your standard clip point. Let me see if I can polish this up a little bit. This has been sitting around for a bit. We got a little bit of a patina on the copper. I've got a few other copper swirl knives, one or two. Can't remember how many. But, of course, had to pick up the lady leg as well. Again, love the sides. Rough Ryder can make a really pretty knife. Sexy lady leg. Chasing Blades has gotten to a point where if I ask him, he'll hide the lady legs from me, or he won't show them if I'm watching, because he knows I will spend way too much money. he'll actually try to help me out. He's like, no, you got to eat. I won't show those until you're gone. But I think I have a majority of the lady legs that are out now. I know of maybe 2 lady legs that I still have to acquire eventually. I can't remember what one of them is, but one of them is pink with like rhinestone bling on it, which looks ridiculous to me, but I gotta get it. Just because of the ridiculousness. Good snap on that one as well. Almost closed that one on a finger. Okay, we got one last box, and then we'll talk about whatever other random shit's going on. Or one last package, I should say. Okay, so those... I'm running out of room on this table. I'm going to put these on the floor. We got so many knives sitting on my table now. Oh, don't want to drop them. Give me a sec. Trying to put them on a spot that I'm not going to step on them either. Okay. The last box from Chasing Blades. Good God, what have I done with myself? And then we'll get on to the chat and random stuff portion. As you can tell, I spent a lot of time on Chasing Blades. Ah! In my defense, they did say come back on my birthday. So I will be doing that. And this has a lot of tape. All right, let's see if they got an invoice on this one. More peanuts. The hell did I pick up? I don't remember half the stuff. This is a thing when I buy something and it takes a long while to get to me. Is I forget what I got. I can't remember what I had ordered, and I really can't remember what's in here. Oh, haha. Okay, he tossed in some Flitz polish. Okay, that's the one where he tossed in some polish. Wait a second. I don't really remember this at all. Did you toss extra stuff in? Because I'm pretty sure I didn't order these. Or did I? I don't know what happened. Okay, something weird's going on. I'm curious because I could have sworn I only ordered one thing. I'm pretty positive I only ordered one thing. I might have to talk to him. I don't know what happened. Because I've been sitting on this box for a while. Oh dear. Okay, so we're going to open these up. Hold on, did I see, was there an invoice in here? I still don't see an invoice in here. I'm a little confused. I'm not going to lie. Excuse me, hold on a second. I want to check. Well, first of all, I got another case card, and I got some Flitz. That's a Flitz I know he tossed in for me, but now I have to check whatnot. So give me a second, because I don't want to fiddle with something I shouldn't be fiddling with. Let me find my purchases. Has my brain lost that much that I can't remember what the hell I got? Like, I have an inkling, but usually I'll remember as soon as I see the box. And in this case, I see two more boxes than I remember at all. Like, I'm completely drawing a blank. And why can I not see my purchases on whatnot? Completed. If it says completed, I've done a review on it already. I can't use my phone, which makes this a little harder. A bunch of Rough Riders. Okay, we got those. This had to have been earlier, though. Pending review. Chasing Blaze is on whatnot. He's a seller. One of my favorite sellers right now. In fact, I spend a lot. Him, Titan, Appalachian freeze dried knives. I probably spend the most time on their shows. A lot of times because I like making Chasing Blades giggle. Why am I not finding this all of a sudden? Like, I'm not even finding the order on my thing. I am seriously confused. And I'm going to open these because I'm going to take a look because I have no other idea how I'm going to figure this out. There's the Titan knife I got. I'm looking on Whatnot's website right now. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm going over everything that I've purchased. Excuse me. There's somebody that canceled a sale of mine, which I was not very happy about. Not a knife, it was something else. Because like I'm actually concerned. Because I don't understand what I just got. It might be fine. I'm just not remembering, like, at all. Okay, let's take a look. There's Flitz. This was addressed to me, right? Jesus Christ. It had my name on it. Oh, well, obviously it had my name on it, otherwise it wouldn't be delivered to me. Okay, so we have this. Is a Cobra Tech knife. And it's a fixed blade. And this one, I'd like to say I remember. But like I said, I'm having trouble even just finding my purchase of it, which is driving me nuts. Because I hate to be like, oh, I might have gotten somebody else's order. And then I've been sitting on it for like the longest time. Yeah, I completely forget a lot. Believe me, I forget a lot of what I bought. But this actually truly has me concerned because I don't know if this is something I can't find my sale for it. I'm gonna have to look on my phone later. But we're gonna take a quick look at these. This is a Cobra Tech knife. This is a fixed blade. We got bone or stag handles on this one. Now I'm gonna be a lot more careful with this because again, for some odd reason, I'm drawing a complete blank. Leather sheath, absolutely beautiful knife, but I'm legitimately worried. Again, I don't see an invoice, and there's a reason why I'm worried. These are all high-priced knives, and the fact that I'm drawing a blank, unless I don't drink, so I didn't order anything in a drunken stupor. But I can't find the, like, I should have something that says pending review. And the funny thing is, I had this labeled on USPS, so I knew it was from Chasing Blades, which means, here's the tracking number on this one. Okay, we've got to do some, I got to do some detective work. This has me legitimately concerned. Because these are all high-priced knives. Hold on, let's take a look at the others. He's gotten me flits before. This one is from Best Tech. Okay, and I'm not kidding. These are not inexpensive. This is a Best Tech knife. Holy crapola. This knife, these are like sub $200 knives. Why do I have it? Discontinued, listed for $195. So if this listed for $195, my guess is he did it for a little over $100. It's one hell of a gift. He knows my birthday is coming up, but he said to come back on Tuesday. I'm legitimately concerned. I don't recall buying a Best Tech. And this is what set me off. Like the Cobra Tech, I might have bought. I would have been like, oh, that's a cool knife. That's not expensive. I mean, they can be expensive, but something like the Best Tech, and then something like the next one coming up here. This is from Tecto. This is a collaboration from Tecto and EOTech. Now, if you don't know anything about Tecto or EOTech, Tecto is an American, a USA knife maker. I have two other knives from Tecto in my collection. One is an OTF Hummer. That ran over $200. This is a collaboration between Tecto and EOTech. EOTech, if you're in the military or you know anybody in the military, they make military grade like holographic sights, like rifle sights and things like that. Their weapon sights run in the hundreds. Okay, like I would love to have an EOTech sight on my rifle. I cannot afford an EOTech sight to put on my rifle. In fact, the EOTech sight could probably cost anywhere from half the cost of my rifle to more expensive than my rifle. And I've got a collaboration knife sitting here in front of me. I am seriously confused. And like I said, concerned. Yeah. There's gotta be some, I gotta get a hold of them. Because I don't think these are supposed to be mine. Why were they shipped to me? Now, this one is interesting enough. You got a flipper, coated. I don't know the coating. Liner lock, reversible pocket clip. I might as well do a slight review on it since I have them in hand. Because that's something I normally get. I am really, really concerned. Smooth action, really quick action. A lot of jimping on the back. I've got to get a hold of him. He's gone till Tuesday. I'm going to end up having to put these under lock and key. You don't see what you don't understand. Hold on. Let me put this back. This is gorgeous too. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would fucking love these knives. I would love them to death. But I'm not going to be a dickhead, and I'm legitimately concerned that this is not something that I got. Because again, the EOTech alone, the Tecto EOTech alone, I know is expensive. The Best Tech knife, like this is a Best Tech knife, okay? They make a lesser expensive version called Best Tech Man. If this said Best Tech Man, I might have been like, I might have bought that. Best Tech, I would have had to save a little bit of money for. So yeah, you can understand my concern. And Cobra Tech, if this is what I think it is, this is not a cheap knife. Even being a fixed blade, this is a hefty blade. Look at the size of that spine. I don't know what kind of steel this is. I don't see a steel stamp. This is at the very least bone, if not a stag handle. It looks to me to be stag, which again would up the value a bit over a regular, like a bone. And that is a really nice sheath as well. Cobra Tech stamp on it. And the crazy part is I can't see the sale, even though I marked it as received. Like I'm going up and down my sales. I mean, it's possible, but that's a lot. That is a lot for a gift. And like I said, he said to come back on my birthday, which is like, okay, well, they're planning on something. But that's not till August 5th. It is still technically end of July. It is the 26th of July. I need to get a hold of him because this is crazy. If what happened is, if what I think happened, this is nuts. And I'm actually kind of scared. Not scared that he's going to be mad at me, but I'm scared that, like, I don't want anything to happen to these until I straighten things out. And so, of course, now I'm going to be paranoid, and these will probably end up in my gun cabinet until I get a chance to get a hold of them. Because I am slowly scrolling. I see all my Rough Riders. I see them all there. But the thing is, I've had this, like, this came in Monday? This came in Monday. And that means I've been sitting on these for an entire week. Because I save them until I open them on a Saturday. You know, my unboxing. And I'm not seeing anything. I have a couple other or not a couple Rough Riders. I have a couple other orders coming in that aren't here yet from him, but none of them list this. So I'm going to keep these nice and safe and put these back in the box. I'm glad I was able to take a look at them, but I am very nervous now. Because I was surprised, first of all, to see the Flitz, because I know he gave me a Flitz polish already for free. Not to mention a case card. That's a lot of money. That is... all three of this is serious cash. So we are... I'm gonna... yeah, bestest freebies ever. I'm gonna go ahead and slide these carefully back in the box. I don't want to take it from him if this wasn't meant to be mine. I'm not going to be a dick. The guy is the nicest guy in the world. If it was one of those guys that sells shoes and was complaining all about it, I might not say shit. But this guy he's one of the nicest dudes in the world. I'm not going to... not to mention there's somebody out there that if this is not mine, there's somebody out there wondering where the hell his shit is. And this is a lot of shit. I'm so confused. Okay, that's back in the box. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I'm going to try to get a hold of Chasing Blades as soon as I get a chance after the stream. And keep my fingers crossed. Maybe it is a birthday present. I don't know. I'd love to say that, Morgan, but he's seriously, he's the nicest guy. I couldn't do that. My own, I would not be able to sleep at night. That's how bad I am. I'd be worried about it the whole damn time. Not to mention, I don't know what else I'm about to do. Not to mention, I feel like shit if somebody was missing their stuff and then they're missing a bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? And it's causing a whole lot of hullabaloo. I mean, I would want somebody to be honest if I ordered, say all those, I know those lady legs aren't very expensive. But even, you know, like if somebody, I would be grateful if somebody else got those lady legs, but was being honest. Because first of all, that means he's going to, Chasing Blades is going to be out of the money. And, you know, obviously I didn't get my stuff. And he would probably have to replace the stuff that I bought, which would be more money he's out of. And that would suck for him. But anyway, that's everything I have to unbox. That was weird. Never had that happen before. That's everything I had to unbox. I want to take a look at this again. That's everything that I had to unbox. We're still going to be streaming, and we're going to be going over stuff and talking about stuff. This was that trapper I got from Titan. I know somebody was interested in, I don't know if they said they were interested in looking at that again, but absolutely beautiful bone. Focus. Thank you. Bone handles and the Damascus. They did an amazing job on the Damascus on this. I'm just nervous about opening it because I know how sharp this is. And this has a really strong spring to it, which again has me nervous. But this is bad. And when I say bad, it's badass. I don't know how, like, his name's Sal, but from Titan Knives that does the selling. He likes to flip his knives around in his hands. I know he's cut himself a number of times, but something like this would make me nervous as hell. And this does have really strong springs. Okay, so on to the yappity part of the stream. So those were pretty interesting knives. If there's any other knives you wanted to see, if you wanted another look at them, let me know. I'll bring them back out and you can take another peek. I wanted to talk about really quick what's going on for tomorrow. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'm going to be holding another auction. I wasn't intending to. I was kind of hoping that my first auction would be one and done. But what's going on is it's not like I'm in dire need of money or anything. Although I could use the money. My daughter's coming to visit, so that would be a definite plus. I could actually feed her. But now it's more of I'm just trying to clear out what I had that was for sale the first time that didn't sell. And while not a lot of it is going to be knife related, I am going to be throwing some knives in, some inexpensive knives. And I figured I'd share with you guys, if you guys might be interested in looking tomorrow, what I'm going to be selling. First of all, some of the stuff that I'm selling is actually going to be extras. A lot of the knives that I have, thankfully, a friend of mine made me a spreadsheet because of my memory issues. There's a lot of times where I'd buy a knife, not see it for like a good few days because it's, it's on its way to me, and I'll completely forget what I bought. And then I'll be at another auction, see that knife again, not realizing I've already bought it. I'd be like, oh, that's a cool knife. And I'd get it again. So I've gotten a few doubles that I'm going to go ahead and throw into an auction. A couple of them, for example, this is going to be up for auction. This was their the first auction. It's a tater skin, which is a burlap micarta lady leg. Now, these are all new. However, I have gone over these knives. I've, cleaned them, gave them a light polish in terms of the sunshine cloth, and even waxed their blades to prevent corrosion and oiled their pivots. So they're well taken care of, new, never used, never sharpened. And in a lot of cases, most cases, still with their box. But I'll be selling that. I've got a tortoise shell lockback knife. Again, new, cleaned up and waxed. That'll make it to the auction. As soon as I get my fingerprints off of it and any other evidence, that'll go up for auction. I've got a Midnight Ice Rough Rider. This one Morgan might be interested in. This one is a hawk blade that I happen to have two of. This one, again, brand new, never used to cut anything. Oiled, waxed, and cleaned. Now this one's an interesting one because, again, this is how I received it. This one was brand new. It is a hawk blade, sizable hawk blade. However, I noticed on the scale, it's not a crack, but it's not completely smoothed out, as you can see. It is a carbon fiber flake in resin scale, and that is not a crack that goes through the scale at all. It's like a weird scratch that they just sort of polished over. And then there's one like small polish or two smallish chips on the other side that were kind of polished over as well. So it's not perfectly smooth, but still brand new knife, perfectly usable and fine, sharp as hell. What do they call this? A Midnight Ice Hawkbill. So that will be going up for auction too, probably a slightly reduced price because of that scale imperfection. Again, that's how I got it. I also have this Delta Ranger, which is made by Frost Cutlery, which is kind of like a modern take by Frost. That's got a partially serrated blade, liner lock, and a single thumb stud for deployment. And you got a pocket clip. That'll be going. Again, a lot of this is to make room in my collection as well. And then I have an extra wasp. This is a really cool knife. I've already got one. This one came in, oddly enough, this is not the original box, but this is the box it came in. So I don't know. All I know is this is the box it came in. But it is a Rough Rider wasp. It's what's called, I think a lot of people misnamed it because every time I've seen somebody sell one, they called it a sow belly. And I can kind of see why. It's got this weird belly to the body of the knife. However, I found out that this is actually a bow trapper. and it's got two blades. You got a clip point and on the second blade is going to be not really, oh yeah, it's a spay blade and a spay blade. What makes it different from your normal trappers is instead of a straight body, it's got this bow in it, which is why they call it a bow trapper. And the blades, I think, are roughly, what is it, 3-inch blades? Yeah, 3-inch blades, both the spay and the clip point. Awesome knife, heavy knife. This guy's got some weight to it. But I've already got another one. Accidentally bought a second when I really didn't need to. And in this case, like I said, it came in a box that it's a wasp box, but it's not made for this knife. I think it was made for, if I'm looking at it right, just by the cutouts, I'd like to say it was made for a sow belly knife, but for some odd reason, there's a bow trapper here. Or I should say I bought a bow trapper and I got a sow belly box. I had another rag that I don't know what I did with. There it is. Because my other rags fell somewhere off my table. I don't know where they went. Anyway, what you see on the blade is the wax that I use to prevent corrosion. This one has also been cleaned and oiled at the pivot as well as waxed. I was thinking about using it as a user's knife and keeping it in my pocket. I just never did. I ended up putting it in my knife collection box, and it stayed there. Never took it out to use. So it is essentially a new knife, just an open box, and strangely not the right box. But that'll be going up for auction as well. So those are just some of the knives that I plan on putting for auction. Oh, and this one too. This one I showed at my last unboxing. I have the squirrel version of this, but because I don't really need it, I am going to sell, and I'm thinking this is either Rams or, I'd like to say ram horn. Either ram horn or bone handle. And this one's a gut hook. I don't normally like gut hooks, which is why I don't mind getting rid of this one. This one has a stag cut out in the blade. There's your gut hook. Damascus steel. This one is not made by Titan, however. I don't know who made this. I know the person that I bought this from. It was a collaboration effort between him and I don't know who made the knife. But I guess it was some type of collaboration thing. But I've got the squirrel version of this, and then acquired the deer version of this as well. But I will be selling this one on auction. If anybody is interested, that'll be going up tomorrow. And I just it's been well waxed. I keep it in a plastic bag, and then it comes with a sheath with the same cutout burned into the leather. You can see there. Yeah, I got a squirrel. I have the squirrel version. I'm keeping the squirrel version for obvious reasons. But I'm going to go ahead and sell the stag tomorrow. And there might be more knives added later on, but right now these are the knives that I've got slated. I have to put these into the auction inventory yet. I haven't done that yet. But those are the ones that I'm intending to sell. So you guys got an idea of what knives are going to be in the auction. But like I said, the auction itself that I'm going to be holding tomorrow isn't predominantly going to be knives. I am going to be putting I have a lot of guitar pedals which were in my initial auction, like this one here. This is the TC Electronic Fangs, which is a distortion pedal. This one's going up as used. This one's brand new. This is probably the most expensive item I'm going to have on the auction. This is a Snow White Auto Wah made by Mad Professor. It's a boutique, meaning, like a small maker guitar pedal that's been in my guitar pedal collection for quite a long time. I think brand new at the time, these were roughly around $300 or over $300. I think like $350. I think my buy it now for this one is like $280 something. But that's like the most expensive guitar pedal I have. I have something like this Wiretap, which is a recording pedal. It records what you play, and then you can play it back. Also from TC Electronic. But these were the things that I initially had a lot of. I still have other guitar pedals down there. I'm not going to throw all of them up here to show, but these were my main things that I was trying to sell the first auction. So they'll be making a return for tomorrow's auction. So if you know any guitar players that might be interested, let them know. This is probably another one of my higher end pedals. It's a 40th anniversary Boss pedal, brand new. That's a classic pedal that you've probably heard on a lot of rock and metal songs. If you listen to rock and metal, more than likely somebody had a DS1 distortion pedal in their pedal board, and this is the 40th anniversary version of it. I think I have that slated to go for a little under $200. So that gives you an idea of some of the main stuff that I was trying to sell and trying to get rid of. Other things that I'm going to be selling. One of the things that I've been preoccupying my time with for most this entire week has been making paracord bracelets, because a lot of people really enjoyed the paracord bracelets that I made the first auction. So I've been kind of working overtime, and I've been making more paracord bracelets. And I've been making more paracord bracelets. So now you notice I have written down no compass and compass. There's a reason for that. When I make paracord bracelets, and then I make a matching, I call them zipper pulls, but they could be lanyards, key fobs, whatever. I call them zipper pulls because I think they make nifty zipper pulls. You attach it to a zipper, and now instead of a little metal tab, you've got a nice lanyard you can pull the zipper on. These are, I call them no compass because these just have your standard buckle closure, okay? And I've only made a handful of these. This one happens to be a reflective green and glow paracord. So this will actually it'll not only be reflective if somebody flashes a light on it, it will actually glow. The center part will actually glow in the dark. So yeah, these don't have strikers. If you want me to make one for Brody Morgan, measure his wrist for me, because I have small wrists. So I tend to make these a little larger than my wrist. And so I kind of make them sort of like one size fits most. But I know Brody's a little one. So if you can measure his wrist, like his exact, and then I'll make it maybe a little bigger, let me know and I'll try to make one his size. But these have regular, they all come in sets. So you get a bracelet and the zipper pull with, matching color. These don't have any compasses to them. They just have the regular buckles. These I've made the most of have, oop, that was my computer. And these I have made with the compass, and it also has an emergency whistle. Oop, okay. So it has a compass, an emergency whistle, and it also has a striker, a ferro rod and a striker, so you can actually use this to start a fire if you need to. So it's kind of like a survivalist thing. Emergency whistle, compass, striker. I've made a bunch of these in varying colors. This one happens to be black with, again, glow in the dark paracord. So the center portion, the light green portion, that glows in the dark. It works like a lot of other glow in the dark stuff. If you shine a light on it for a little bit, it'll glow in the dark for a little while. But that's that. And again, I have a whole bunch of different colors. I've been experimenting with a different braid or style too. You can see with the black and red. I don't have too many of this type of weave. My favorite weave happens to be this type, so I use this predominantly. But I like to experiment now and then. But these all have, again, the compass and everything, and a matching zipper pull as well. So I've made a lot of those. You need the small and black and red one, though rather not be burned out. Let me know. For the non-strikers, probably about $10. These are normally like if I were to just straight sell them and not auction. If for auction, I might start them a little lower. But like for the compass ones, probably 15 for the set. The non-compass ones, just the plain ones, probably 10. But if I'm doing an auction, I'll probably also start them lower, so you can get a chance at getting a deal on these. I'm just talking about like straight buy prices for that. You were asking about the knife. The stag knife will probably start at like 20, if I recall. 6 inches on his wrist. Okay, so I'll make one probably like, say, 7 inches, because if it gets wet, it could shrink a little also. That's why you make them a little oversized. So I'll probably do like a 7-inch wrist for him. Let me write that down, otherwise I will forget as soon as I find my pen. And then what I can do, because I've done this before, because this one's going to be specifically for Brody, 7-inch. I'll just do 7 inches. Because this one's specifically for Brody, what I can do is I can make one. Just tell me what 2 colors, and hopefully I'll have the colors. I'll make one, and I can do a buy it now, and what I'll do is I'll let you know as soon as the buy it now is up. So that way, you can. I'll be like, okay, it's up now, and then you just buy it. If you know what I mean. So I'll make him one. Oh, no worries, Kyle. No worries. Other stuff that I'm gonna have. Oh my god, I've got so many things in front of me now. I'm really worried about that knife box. I'm like so worried about that knife box. It's not even funny. It's like hurting me. This one you might like. Okay, for you younger people, close your eyes. This one's gonna be for you, Morgan, if you decide you want it. This is a brand new shirt, never worn. This one says, "I love DP." That one, I'll save that for you if I can. If you really, really want it, Morgan, I'll save that for you. But otherwise, this is a size large. Again, brand new. I just put it in a zipper bag because it didn't have a bag. And then, who doesn't love diamond painting? Craftability or craftably, diamond painting. But in case you love DP, there you go. If you really love DP, diamond painting, you'll love this shirt. But that's gonna be in the auction tomorrow. And you know, if it's not for you, it would make a great gift for a loved one who loves DP. So we've got that, and also other things that I'm like walking around my bedroom as I'm pulling stuff because I've got stuff all over the bedroom. Other stuff that's going to be on auction. Not even for X. No, you want it for presents. Black and red he wants. Oh, good, because I just got black and red, which is perfect. Because Caboose wanted to get a black and red one, and so I ordered a red paracord, and I needed more black. Other things that are going to be on the auction, so you guys are aware. I have an extra one of these. This is a Labubu Mac, and it's still in the plastic bag. I didn't open the plastic bag, but like I said, I have a second one. So if you want to know what it looks like, again, the plastic bag is still sealed. It's just the box that's opened up. This is what he looks like. Little Labubu in a mech. So that'll be going up for auction. And I also have unopened blind boxes that I acquired that will be going up for auction. One of which is going to be I'm upside down right now. A Care Bears blind box. Ew. Okay, there we go. A Care Bears blind box. Now, what I mean by blind box is because you don't know which one you're going to get when you open the box. You're possibly going to get any one of these 9 Care Bears. It could be any one of them there. And then there's a slim chance you can get the secret Care Bear. And these aren't terribly expensive, but I've known the secrets, if you end up with a secret, could go for a lot more. Like, for example, the secret to these, which I don't have, I've seen somebody open one up. The secret for these sells straight for over $200 if you got a secret one of these, which I don't have. I don't know how much the secret for the Care Bear would be, but considering that this will start at $20, at least $100, I would guess, for the secret Care Bear. But that will be going up for auction, as well as this one is also unopened. This one is a Miniso, so not by Pop Mart. It's a Disney Villains. These are figurines, and these are what you could get the chance of getting in this box. Again, you don't know what you're going to get in the box. It's unopened. It's a blind box. So you have a chance, like a 1 in 6 chance of getting any of these 6. And I don't know what the chances are for getting, this is the secret, although they reveal what the secret is. So you know what it looks like. But that's the secret. That's the one that you have a higher chance of not getting. But again, these will probably start at like maybe $20, $25. I only have one box each of these. This will probably start at $20, $25, something like that. You don't know what you're going to get. It's going to be a blind box. And there's that. I've got to hit the washroom real quick. So I'm going to mute myself. And I will be right back. If you got any questions, put them up in chat. I'll make sure to turn my mic off so you don't hear anything weird. I will be. Okay, I just got back. I was really hoping I had the microphone off. Because that could have been really embarrassing. But that's the majority of what I'm going to have at the auction. There's a possibility I might add more. I may or may not add more knives to it. I may have some giveaways. I'm not quite sure. I have a brand new, like, for example, One Piece towel I might be giving away. It's a small towel with the One Piece characters from the One Piece anime in it, in a little carrying thingy. So that might be given away. I'm not quite sure yet. There might be other stuff that I might give away. There's a lot of things I'm still kind of undecided on. So while I've showed you what's definitely going to be on the auction, there very well could be much more added later on. So that's what I'm talking about in terms of the auction. Again, this is really to make a little extra cash for my daughter's visit, as well as clear space, so that way I can acquire more stuff and have places to put them. Because as it stands right now, I have things everywhere, and I need to organize. And actually, having all these knives received does not help. If I want to maintain my collection, I have to make room for my collection. You used to like Care Bears TV when you were a kid? You, some people really, I mean, I like these things. These mechs are the only ones of these that I've actually collected. I've got 6 of them right now. And like I said, the only reason why I'm selling this one is because I've already got the one that came in this box. And I think there's 12 different types, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, yeah, 12 different types and a secret. Unfortunately, never got the secret, but got a bunch of these already. I think I'm good. I just wanted a few because I thought they were neat because I'm an anime fan and I like mecha. So, do I have any Gerber knives? Actually, no, I don't have any Gerber knives. I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not saying that Gerber's bad knives. Gerber makes a variety of knives, anywhere from low end, cheap to really expensive. My only thing with Gerber, I don't think they're bad knives. They just tend to be, for me, they tend to be pricier for what I can get from other manufacturers. So if there was a knife that I wanted with a certain type of steel and material and or options on it, like the way it flips open or the type of lock, they've got knives that fit that bill. However, a lot of times Gerber tends to be a lot more expensive than, say, getting the same type of material or even better material from, say, like Civivi, Kaiser, CJRB, or some of the other manufacturers. So I haven't gotten really into a lot of Gerber knives, just because a lot of times you're spending for. I think it's pretty much you're spending a lot for the name. So yeah, I don't do a whole lot with that, and I feel the same. And then I'm gonna probably get slapped for this one. I kind of feel the same way with Benchmark. I like Benchmark knives. They are just really, really expensive, and there's a lot of options out there. Um, a lot of Benchmade. I don't want to say wannabes, but there's a lot of options out there that are very similar to, like, say, the Benchmade Bug Out is one of the most I dare say controversial knives, because that's an expensive knife, and there's so many manufacturers that make knives that are similar to it that are a fraction of the cost of a Benchmade. And quite frankly, I kind of like the other ones better. And nothing against Benchmade. Like I said, I think Benchmade makes some great knives. I just think you're paying a ton for the name. And again, not saying that they're bad quality knives or anything. I think they're amazing knives. It's just there's no way I'm ever going to be able to afford it. And if I'm going to get a knife that I'm going to use, I'm much more inclined to use a knife that I paid $50 to $75 for over something that I paid like $250 for, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, I'm more likely to take that out and actually use it than a really expensive Benchmade. But that's what I have slated for the auction. Again, there could be more added later. Excuse me. And that's one of the big things I want to talk about, was let you guys know about the auction tomorrow. That's going to start at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. I still don't even know how I'm going to hold it because I wasn't very comfortable with how I held the first one. My back was killing me. Like, oh my God, my back hurt. I might just do it like this, even though you guys can't really see a lot of the merchandise this way. I might hold it like this. I don't know yet, because I was leaning over, bending over the whole damn time I was running that auction, and my back ached for days after that. So I still don't know how I'm going to do it. I might just hold it like this. I don't know. Other than that, that's going to take place 2 p.m. Central Standard Time on Sunday is when I plan to start. As far as how long it's going to go, I have no idea. Last time I went for 4 hours. Imagine bending over for 4 hours, leaning at the waist, and yeah, my back wasn't happy. Other than that, if you guys had questions on knives, Feel free and ask. There's a knife that you guys know I have or think I might have. I don't have every knife, believe me. I've got quite a few, but ask away if you got questions on how I prepare a knife for the collection or anything like that. What I use. I know I've gone over that in past lives before, so I know some of this stuff can be redundant. What I have here that you can see, this is actually what I use to make my paracords, my bracelets, and whatever else I'm making. In fact, I think I have a package downstairs. I have a package downstairs with more paracord that I've got to go grab. It should be in. Let me check to see if it's even in. Because I got more clasps and black paracord that's supposed to be, I think it's arrived by now. Let me see if it's here. Yep, it's delivered. So I've got paracord, labels, and some swivel lobster claw clasps that I needed. Now I've got to go downstairs to grab them. So I've got to go downstairs to grab them in a minute. All right. So again, if there's anything you want to see, have questions about, if you have any questions on anything that's going to be held in the auction, like Morgan was asking about this one, I think I told you. It's probably going to start anywhere between 20 and 25. Not sure on that one yet. The Rough Riders will probably start at a lot less. Delta Ranger might even end up going as one. I don't know if I'm going to do a buyer's giveaway. If I do a giveaway, I'll probably end up being a buyer's giveaway. Because I kind of killed myself with giveaways, like the first time. And Morgan wanted a black and red for Brody, so I'm going to go ahead and, while we're talking, I can actually start one. But you didn't want the compass for Brody because that has a striker on it, if I remember correctly. Ugh. Ain't back yet. Who's not back yet? What's going on? So I've got to, let's see here. I'm trying to remember I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. My girlfriend left her phone up here. It said 7-inch. I said 7-inch. So I don't think I need anywhere near as much paracord as I normally use. You'd rather not be burned alive. You tried not to enter the giveaways. Oh, because no, it doesn't matter. The only thing with you're just able to help out. There's no mods on whatnot. They have some abilities. They can ban people, but I've seen so many mods win giveaways as well. It's no big deal. Some people say it's rigged. You get it if you're a mod. I'm forgetting my pack. Oh. No, my girlfriend went down and grabbed it. 2. I'm right now measuring out 3. Oh, okay, I measured out wrong. I started that off bad. I'm trying to measure out the paracord that I'm going to use for Brody's. For Brody's bracelet. 2, 3, 4. I think that might be enough. I'm hoping that might be enough. I'll use the regular amount of paracord. I can make him a zipper pull as well. I like to make these in sets. Better more than cut too little and then find out I need to cut more out, and I've wasted a bunch. Yeah. And it's a bunch of red paracord. There we go. And you guys can see how I make a paracord bracelet. Oh, thank you, hon. We gotta burn the edges. That's how you seal them. And a bunch of clasps. Yay! Oh, these are big. Oh. These are big clasps. Holy crap! I don't know. Oh no, the pink ones didn't come in. Those are labels for the printer. I'll put those down. I hear a phone. Fine. All right. Who's gonna feel all special? Talking about Brody? I figured why not? I mean, while I'm chatting with you guys, I can make a bracelet while I'm chatting. And again, if you guys want to see a knife or have questions about knives, this is all about knives, really. But I don't have a problem doing this at all. This is actually kind of relaxing and has nothing to do with me getting high by burning paracord. Nothing at all. It's not like I'm sniffing the stuff a lot all the time. What? Yeah. Ow! That one was still hot. It hit my thigh. Okay, so we got 2 lengths of paracord, and I've got to switch something out because you do not want the compass. So I have other buckles that I hope will fit. How did D&D go last night? D&D was fun. It went up late. Oh my god. I woke up so late this morning. I didn't get up till like 11. But D&D was fun last night. We fought well, no, we didn't fight a dragon. We actually saved a dragon. Is this too big? That's too big. We actually saved a dragon who got attacked. And mainly because we didn't want to fight the dragon because we would have gotten our ass kicked. Okay, I got to change these. We would have gotten our butts handed to us. So we did the smart things, and we made friends. And then the dragon got attacked, and we defended the dragon. And whoever was attacking the dragon was a hell of a lot easier to deal with the dragon. So yes, it went well. It was fun. I always have fun playing D&D. Heck, if you guys got questions on paracord, let me know. Not that I'm an expert on paracord, I just make this stuff. But the funny thing is, I had no real intention of selling this stuff. I just thought it would be a neat thing to make. You know, a fun thing to do. Learn not. You know, I always thought learning knots, you know, in general, was always a good thing to know, because it's amazing how useful knowing the right knot can be when you need to tie something down, or even join 2 types of rope together to lengthen stuff. And I just thought it was a handy skill to have. And I know a lot of guys that get into like making, like, well, Kenny, Kenny what, knits? I don't knit, but I know a couple people that actually, a couple guys that knit. There's one guy I seen videos, he'll knit like weaponry, and he does these funny little skits on YouTube and like TikTok or whatever, of him using like knitted weapons, which I always thought they were hilarious. And so I kind of wanted to do something to, you know, for fun, something different than sitting in front of a computer all the time. And I figured, why not paracord? I thought that would be neat. I thought that'd be fun. And now I'm up to my ears in paracord trying to sell sell them. Didn't think that's how it was going to go, but you never know how these things go. It's still fun. It's kind of neat, admittedly, to be able to make something and then see it appreciated and people want want it. So I gotta admit that feeling is actually pretty cool. Like I never got into anything because I wanted to sell anything. Like I used to be into photography. I love to just do the artwork, make pictures and work in the studio and stuff like that. I never got into it for the money. Unfortunately, because I never got into it for the money, found out that you can't really make much of a living with it either, which sucks. Not unless I wanted to do like really high stress work, like a wedding, and Lord knows I did not want to work weddings. You want to learn how to make knives. That's cool. It's there's a lot I'd love to be able to design one. I don't know if I could make one from scratch myself, but I'd love to be able to design a knife. There's a lot of YouTubers, a lot of YouTuber knife people, or social media people that have worked in conjunction with knife manufacturers to, like, they'll design a knife and they'll work with a manufacturer to get that knife in production. And it's a number of people have done it. I think Knees Knives has his own collection of knives that he's selling. They tend to be higher end, really expensive. Um, but yeah, that's something I would love to do. I don't know if I could make a knife from scratch though. That is probably going to take a lot more work than I either have the time or even patience for. I'd love to design one though, and then work with a manufacturer to maybe get it out there. I think that'd be cool. Where'd my other tool go? There you are. Joining two colors of paracord requires you to melt a lot of paracord. And then I'll usually try to reshape what I melted into something that's not too blobby. That'll get hidden in the bracelet. But the other reason is to make sure that this connection is secure and doesn't snap apart. They're generally really, really strong once you've melted them together. But I have had them snap before. So I try to be much more careful than I used to be. Matt Rife from Naked and Afraid has his own. Yep, Matt Rife and other weapons now. Or Matt Rife? Was it Wright or Rife? He used to make ceramic ornaments. Did I read that right? Or ornaments, maybe? There we go. Now I gotta clean up these ends. There isn't much that, I mean, other than my photography, there isn't much that I've actually ever really made, other than what I might have made in like shop class or something. This is the only thing that I've actually ever really concentrated hard at creating anything from, was the paracord bracelets and stuff. I've made a few lanyards. I made from some neck lanyards, and I think the bracelets are the more fun things to make. If I do something, a lot of times it's going to be for fun. I very rarely do anything of the mind to make money off of it. If I do, it's just a bonus. Like I said, I was surprised at how many people really liked the bracelets and admittedly overjoyed that people would want them so badly. And I don't mind making them. Sure, I kind of went nuts the first time. Like I stressed myself out making so many bracelets the first time that I didn't want to touch paracord for a good while. But I'm back at the point where I don't mind making them. And you guys saw how many I've made. That was just casually over the last couple weeks. And I've kind of gone into overdrive a little bit since this auction is coming up tomorrow. And that's why I have so many done. Let's see here. How long is everything? That works. I'm trying to feed it through all these loops. You'll see what I'm doing in a little bit. Okay. Get over there. And then I've got to make it for a 7-inch wrist. So what I'm going to do is so from there, because it's got a measurement on this jig, but I realized something about this jig. It's not the most accurate measurement in the world. So I still use a tape measure to figure it out. And this was a pretty inexpensive jig to begin with. It works. I can't imagine making a bracelet without this thing. Because then how are you going to like hold things together? God damn it. This is going to be a little longer. Maybe. Because this is technically as short as I can make it. Measure twice, cut once. What does this list at? 6.5. It says 6.5. We're gonna go 7. Again, it's gonna be it'll probably be a little bigger than his wrist, but the reasoning for is A, so it'll fit him, and B, they sometimes will shrink. If, say, for example, he dives in a pool, there's a possibility it could shrink. So it's gonna be. My intention is to make it about an inch bigger. So according to this, I'll measure again. Actually, let's get this cord in the other buckle, and then I'll measure it. And exactly, he's still growing. So even if it is still much bigger than, other side, than what he's got, he'll be able to wear it for a good long while. Unfortunately, my jig actually doesn't get any smaller than this. Really, maybe half an inch smaller. So we're looking at 7 inches, roughly, just around there. Trying to make good on where I'm measuring this from, because a buckle makes it a little weird. Whoops! Ow! That hurt. I always learn better hands-on. I'm a very visual learner or hands-on learner. I can't even say visually necessarily. So any other questions on the knives while I'm doing this? Yeah. And this is really it. A lot of the cost on this is just time spent and then the materials. Paracord itself isn't super expensive, but buckles and other stuff that ends up driving the cost up quite a bit. And then it's all about like how much you think your time is worth with making these. And I've made enough of these that I can actually start to make these relatively quick, at least with this type of braid. There's a few other braids I've been practicing. This just happens to be my favorite one. I just like the looks of this one. You're stuffing your face. I'm getting hungry. I know it's getting close to dinner time. Unfortunately, I don't have somebody with a 7-inch wrist I can verify this on. Again, I'm going by tape measurement. And then hoping for the best. Thankfully, it's not hard to restart this if I have to. Because it just seems so short. Like I wanna say this is almost too short, but every time I measure it, it comes out to 7 inches. Maybe if I look at it a different way. No, I'm going from buckle to buckle, or actually buckle to the end of the paracord. And actually just judging this now, it's going to be just shy of 7 inches. If I understand this right. So going to the end buckle. Yeah, just shy of 7 inches, I think, which is fine. Your wrist isn't much bigger than his. So you're probably swimming in the in the bracelet that you got from me. You're probably swimming in it. Did you say somebody took them from you? Who took what from you? Brat was. Somebody took something. Like as soon as they came in, I can't remember. And I actually have pink paracord coming in. Unfortunately, it's not coming in time for tomorrow. I was kind of hoping to have some pink. I know a lot of people that like pink, but maybe next time I'll throw them in the. I'll still make some. Maybe throw it in the buy it nows, and then people can buy them if they want them from there. But I don't. Oh, I didn't mention it. If you're interested in the auction, and even if you don't buy anything, just hanging out would be pretty cool because it's essentially a live auction. So it's like me on YouTube doing a live show. Only I'm selling stuff. So even if you were to come on, and you don't have to buy anything, and just stop by and chat, you can show support that way, and that would still be pretty fun. Because, like I said, unlike the very first auction to me felt super hectic. And I felt like I was running around. I felt like I was out of breath a lot. Again, like I said, I was leaning over something for like 4 freaking hours. And whoops. And it just felt like super stressful and hectic. That my intention this time with running the auction is I'm just going to take it slow. I'm going to be chill. If somebody wants to see something and buy something, they can ask, and then I'll run it. But other than that, I'm just going to try to keep it a much more relaxed show than the first time. And again, this is not something I intend to be doing a lot of. I didn't even intend to do the first one, to be quite honest, much less the second one. But I figured since I've got everything up, and I want to make room, and I do want to sell this stuff, and make room for other things, as well as make money for other things. Since I have everything set up already, why not? Like, seriously, why not? What not? Brad took the lanyard. Okay. Wait, what on purpose? What? What do you mean, what's on purpose, Morgan? The pink? The pink was on purpose. That's what you're asking. And this one is actually almost done. I've got plenty of paracord left over. I can make a zipper pull. I call them zipper pulls. You can call them lanyards. You can call them key fobs. You can do pretty much anything with them. I just think they make neat zipper pulls. Put them on your winter jacket. Put them on a duffel bag. I would not use them as a collar or something to attach to an animal like a dog's leash, other than decorative use, because I did not create these to hold up to, say, if a dog started pulling roughly on it. The paracord I use is strong, but there's other things that I would need to do, like the hardware itself isn't necessarily rated for anything super heavy. Like the paracord itself is stronger than probably the buckles or even the clasps. Like if I wanted to make a dog collar or something, I would need to use, the paracord that I have actually is fine, but everything else, the hardware would have to be rated for something that might pull rather roughly on it. The hardware that I have, or that I'm using, is great. It's perfectly fine for zippers, for lanyards, for keychains. But I wouldn't use it for anything other than that. Quite literally, the rings that I've been attaching to these are made for keys. Yendor, how you doing? I've done the unboxing already, and we're just doing a chat sort of thing. So if you guys have questions, if there was a knife that I unboxed that you want to see closer, or if you even want to see part of my collection, we've just entered the sort of like yappy portion of my EDC Squirrel stream, where I just yap and get stared at by my girlfriend. What?
If you're going to be on a little longer, I may be able to get you rated. And then you can promote for tomorrow. But you're just making a paracord. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, I'm just making this. I'm not even on fine. Whatnot.
Not even on Whatnot?
No, I'm just on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not on Whatnot right now. I'm not running a show. Okay. So there would be nothing to raid. Sorry. She was gonna try to get me raided.
Well,
I don't have time. I'm not ready to host a show right now. I'm doing YouTube. I'm doing the YouTubes. I don't even have Whatnot set to run on. You didn't share the candy with. Do you know the size of the box she has full of candy? This is a drop in the bucket, or more like a drop in the lake. Those samples that I had, seriously, is just a drop. There's a whole giant box in the living room with freeze-dried candy. tons and tons of it. Where'd my scissors go? So, the Endor, is there anything you wanted to see? Anything you had questions about? Ah, you almost cut a finger. That would have been bad. I'm gonna burn a finger in a minute. This is how I finish my bracelets. You burn the ends and it melts. And you hope you don't burn yourself, which I've done. I have not melted yet, though, luckily. Trying not to. There we go. Ah, I have melted paracord on my thing. I also found out how hot paracord gets when it melts. I burned the crap out of my thumb that way because the paracord wanted to attach itself to my thumb. I was not happy. Okay, I don't know if that's going to be big enough, but that is a. Let me measure that. Probably should have measured it before I cut. I was in automatic mode. This is what happens. I was in automatic mode. How big are those bracelets on your wrist that you got, Morgan? Possible I might have to make another one. This could be a toddler bracelet if it doesn't work. This is, and you measured around his wrist. This is 7 inches. So, or just a hair under 7 anyway. So here's hoping that fits him. It just seems small to me. But then again, I mean, Brody's a tiny guy. Doing good? Just woke up? Oh, I forget, you're in Australia. Coffee time. I know that feeling. I will finish this off anyway. Yeah, it just seems small. I can make them bigger. But according to my tape measure, that's 7 inches. 7 inches around. And you said his wrist was 6 inches? Because by comparison, where's another bracelet? Because by comparison, here's the one I just did. This fits in there. That fits perfectly in there. You can put it on without unbuckling it. And it gets snug to your elbow. So this might fit then. You're pretty sure you can wear this one. Okay. All right. So this should be fine for Brody then. Okay. Like I said, it's funny because it fits literally just inside. Like if I can lift that up and it holds it in the in the normal bracelet that I make. It fits perfectly in there. And then I'll make a matching zipper pull as soon as I figure out what I did with the paracord that I just dropped on the floor. There you are. I'll make a matching zipper pull lanyard / whatever. So, and this is probably why I might sound high all the time, is because all I smell is melted paracord. There. Trying to make sure those are melded together. Oh, that's hot. Really well. I just realized I don't have a metal plate in front of me. I have a harmonica. I do not want to use the harmonica for this. I think my lighter is running out of fluid. A lot of people don't bother with trying to reshape something they melted, but I don't know. I'm anal when it comes to this stuff. Yeah, I think my lighter is running out of fluid. I need to refill this lighter. So, stepping away from the camera. That's empty. Now? What? I don't have... Can't do that now. Okay, that's empty. All right. So filling this one up. You made a paracord rifle sling a while back. Turned out a bit rough, but you like it. I was thinking about doing that myself, but that takes a lot of paracord. Like the bracelets that I make, even with making the little zipper pulls and stuff, take roughly a little over 10 feet of paracord just for one bracelet and zipper pull lanyard. 10 feet. It's pretty crazy. Like I looked at how to make, I looked at like making a belt or like even a necklace, and the amount of paracord that they say is a requirement, like it surprised the hell out of me. I would need a lot more paracord. Okay, exactly how much is going in this lighter? Oh, that went everywhere. Let's not do that again. In fact, let me cover this up before I light anything on fire. Okay. Lighter works again. I've been making a lot of bracelets. So much so that I've run out of so much of the hardware. And what the hell did they tape this hardware up in? Where's my knife? I didn't want to tear the bag, but they taped that weird. It takes a lot of paracord, especially if you, depending on the type of braid that you're doing. The fancier the braid, the more paracord it ends up taking up. I'm gonna make a hell of a long zipper pull for Brody. This is gonna be a long one. Because why not? There we go. And you guys can see how I make my zipper pulls. Excuse me. I got quite a... There was something that you missed, Yendor, that was a little concerning. And I believe I might have gotten either the wrong... I mean, believe me, I hope it's a birthday present. But something tells me it's not. And I'm concerned because there was a bunch of knives that came in today. And they were... Let's just say they're very expensive knives. And I don't see... Well, I don't even have to look whether I ordered them or not, because they wouldn't have been knives that I think I would have ordered, simply because I know they're very pricey knives. And they were obviously they mail or delivered to me. They had the address and everything. But I'm wondering if it's not like a massive mistake. And I feel bad because not only does that mean that Chasing Blades could be out of some money, but whoever ordered the knives might be out of their knives. And there's a good chance I'm gonna have to see about getting these back to them. Believe me, I'd love it if that was a present. That's just a hell of a present. I mean, my birthday is coming up. It's on August 5th. Oh, have a good one, Chaotic. Thanks for stopping by, man. Okay, so this is how I tie off and make my zipper pulls. And then I just use the same braid or knot that I use for the bracelets because I want them to match. And then what I do is I also hide that that spot where I connected the two different color paracords together. This ends up getting hidden inside the weave. But yeah, if you guys got questions on anything on paracord, what I'm selling tomorrow at the auction, any knives that I might have in my collection, if you want to see something, let me know. I'm just killing time right now. We did the unboxing already. I just enjoy chatting about this stuff. I figured, you know, you gotta love it when you get free gifts for no reason. Yeah, honestly, anybody could just keep them. They were sent to me, but at the same time, like I like the guy. I like Chaotic Knives. They're awesome guys, and I just would feel absolutely horrible. I'm not out to like take anybody for whatever. I happen to like the relationship I have with that seller. He's just been an awesome guy. He's funny. Um, he does what he can. He does what I spend a lot of money there, but he does what he can to get me the best deals. And honestly, I've done a lot of one thing I do when I'm on Whatnot is I do a lot of research on what I want because nobody wants to overpay a ton if they want, if they're going to buy something. So I do a lot of research. And another pet peeve I have, like we've talked about how you got sellers on there that all they do is complain when a knife gets sold for a lot less than what they want, even though they started it out really low. But I have a pet peeve also when they outright lie about like what a knife costs. Oh no, I haven't ordered that sharpener yet. I have so many sharpening stones and stuff that I kind of want to work through what I've got. I'm still debating getting it, to be quite honest. But I've got so many sharpening supplies, and I'm afraid I'm just going to end up with a giant collection of unused sharpening supplies. That one did look really good, though. But it's definitely on my list. Like, I know as I start to go through, because I've got some rather cheap, or super inexpensive plates that I haven't used that I want to go through. And I'll be honest, I've heard good things about these cheap plates that I got, but at the same time, I'm prepared for them to be not so great. So I want to kind of work through those before I get anything new. Actually, where did I put that? I want to make sure I'm looking at what, like, you're talking about the Falkniven sharpener. I know I've added to my list. I just want to make sure I'm thinking about the right thing. Yeah, I'm gonna get in touch with them. I've got the boxes set aside because it's just really weird. Because I was like looking at these, I was like, well, I was looking at these knives. I'm like, I don't remember. I know. There's plenty of times where I've forgotten what I've ordered. There's a lot of times I've forgotten what I've ordered, and it's always kind of like a neat, like it's almost like Christmas, a neat surprise, even though I know I bought it. Okay, so yeah, okay, the ceramic sharpener, I remember that. But this one, I couldn't think at all. Like, I know I didn't order this, and not only that, because these are pricey knives. These are expensive. This is one of the boxes. There was 3 knives in this box, and some paste and some other stuff. And they're expensive knives. And I know it's not something that I would have just outright bought, just on a whim. I bought knives on a whim, but not that, not at that cost. And there's 3 of them there that look like they're amazingly pricey. And when I say amazingly pricey, I mean under 200, but definitely over 100, $150. So I'm a bit nervous. I got to try to get a hold of the guy. I haven't seen any messages. And again, I've been holding that box for like a week. So somebody somewhere is showing that it's delivered. You know what I mean? And the funny thing is, I don't remember hearing him mention it anywhere. Like I've been to he had a show yesterday and there was no mention of it or anything like that. So I don't know. But it's showing as delivered. Obviously, it was delivered to me. So somebody somewhere knows it was delivered. It had my address on it too, so it's not like it went, somebody just dropped it off with the wrong address. Okay, so we'll do one more. We'll do 2 more. This will be a nice long one, so he can get a good handle on whatever he attaches this to. And this will be it. There you go. A zipper pull lanyard key fob whatchamawoozits. Whatever you want to call it. Nice and big. In my younger days, it might have been something they're like, well, tough luck, I would have kept it. But no, I couldn't do that to him. I feel bad. So I don't even know if I don't think he was I don't think he was planning on holding a show until Tuesday. I think he said Tuesday. And I don't know if I could be even able to get a hold of him. I know he's not. Hold on a second. Okay, no, didn't get any messages. I'll message him right now. Hold on, I'm going to drop a message right now. Okay, I just sent him a message, chasing blades on Whatnot. So hopefully I'll hear from him soon. I know they're not doing anything this weekend. They did say that their next show wasn't going to be till Tuesday. You're busy winding Ivy and Bob's. So wait, hold on. You have a trailer for your lizard Bob. Okay. Yeah, until and I didn't realize how inexpensive it was. Maybe I'll pick it up anyway. And it does come in a nice leather. Hey, John. Oh, this is the first EDC stream you caught? I'm glad you could make it. Yeah, I already did the unboxing today. or I finished unboxing everything, and I'm just now chatting and talking about, well, at this moment, pretty much anything. Knives, knife sharpeners in this case, the Falk Niven double-sided ceramic sharpener. I was making a paracord for Morgan, small paracord bracelet and zipper pull, which I'm just about to finish off. So they'll have that. I'll probably make more. What I haven't done is cleaned any of the knives that I've gotten, which I should do. We can do that next. So let me just finish this off. Get this jig out of the way. So we'll finish this real quick. How you doing, Chano? And then I'll be back again later tonight to play video games and live stream on the Duranu's Game Cave channel. So yeah, if you're in here for the knives, if you like video games, I stream video games live practically every night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on a different channel. Yeah, pretty much every day. I've missed a few days or taken a short vacation on occasion, but I don't know. It's just something fun to do. It's a stress reliever of sorts as well, especially after a long day. So I relieve my stress by stressing myself out in a video game. And it's stuck. That'll release in a little bit. What happened to that piece that just fell to the floor? There you are. I don't know if I can do anything with pieces this small, but I try not to waste any paracord. I can do something with that. Then I got more black paracord. There you go. There you go. Zipper pull lanyard, key fob thing, and a tiny bracelet for Brody. So I will just hook these together so they don't come apart. Now I'll put that off to the side. And before I forget about it, I should prepare and clean some of these knives because I'll be spending all night doing this. All these knives. I don't like the knives sitting without having cleaned them and waxed them for too long, because otherwise, I don't know, I feel weird. And some of these knives are pretty pricey, like these case knives that I got. I've got 3 case knives sitting here. And I know the burr on some of them need to get taken care of. So we're going to do that now. So these are going to need some stropping. Then I'm going to clean the well, oil the pivots. Well, cleaning the well and oiling the pivots pretty much happens right at the same time. I'm going to need a different mat because I don't want to get oil on this mat. So putting knife mat away and grabbing my gun mat, because that will soak up oil and I don't care. If you're wondering why there's an alien on it, this mat was from Alien Gear, which makes probably my favorite gun holsters. I like their holsters. Their holsters, they got these holsters that basically you can reconfigure almost any way you want. They can be pricey, but for like a little over $100, you got a holster that you can wear in your belt, outside your belt, paddle holster, whatever, all in one case. Then if you buy a different gun, you don't even have to buy a whole holster. You just buy the shell for the gun, but you can continue to use everything else. So pretty cool. Like Alien Gear. So yeah, these are the little bracelet things that I always talk about and make. These are the ones I told you I'm going to be selling in an auction tomorrow. Got a crap ton of them made. These are all with compasses on them. And what I mean compasses, they have compasses on the buckle with an emergency whistle and a fire starter. And you can already see I nearly filled up this gallon hefty Ziploc with nothing but bracelets and zipper pulls. And I'll still probably make more. This is one of the case knives I got today. This is the 6.5 Bone Stag. I've got skin just hanging off my thumb. That's weird. And we'll give this a good polish and sharp. Well, we don't have to sharpen it. They've got a burr on the edge that needs to be removed. Once I do that, this will probably be as sharp as a razor. I should grab, well, this should be fine. I was going to say I was going to grab my large strop, but this should be okay. I don't think I have to do much other than the leather strop. Because that worked really well to remove the burr off that one blade, the other case knife. I've got a surprising number of case knives now. At least more case knives than I thought I'd have. I didn't really set out to collect case. I never really set out to even collect Rough Riders, but they're just so pretty. The Rough Riders I started because they were so inexpensive and pretty. And then I started looking at case and I was like, why are those expensive? Wow, those are really pretty. And then I found out that case had those squirrel knives. So the first thing I did was acquire every squirrel knife that I could get my hands on. And the burr is just about off. Like I said, it doesn't take much to take this burr off. I just don't understand why. Like Rough Rider, they might not be as sharp. They're still sharp. But they finish and remove the burr on the edge of their blades. And I don't know why why they're finishing, even though the polish is so much nicer, their edge finishing seems to be lacking a little bit. Unless they're doing it on purpose, which would be a strange thing to do, but cloth. Again, it's a little weird. But once you remove that burr, the knife ends up being razor sharp. And even if I did have to resharpen it, one thing about case knives, or even Rough Riders, one thing about 440 steel in general, because I'm pretty sure these are 440. I'm almost positive. Like they call it True Sharp or something. It's not hard to sharpen. It's in fact very easy to get a good edge on these knives. A little bit of a burr left. And again, I'm doing this with very, very light pressure. Like practically just the weight of the knife. And nothing more. Yes, still a little bit of a burr on the edge. I can tell there's a burr because it's grabbing onto the cloth, and you can see little hairs from the cloth stuck to the blade edge. I can't English, and that tells me that there's a burr there. once the cloth stops sticking, there should be no more burr. I've got the slightest burr, the very tip of this knife. It's still grabbing onto a cloth. I'm pulling a little bit of it out. I just lightly ran that over the ceramic side. Again, practically no pressure. Just trying to remove what's left of that burr. Have a good one, Yandor. Cut some firewood. Have fun. Okay. That burr is gone, and that is sharp as all get out. Okay. See a little bit where it's still grabbed onto the cloth. But now it's not the entire edge, it's like just little tiny bits. There we go. Now the thing is, it is now, like I said, it's weird because it has that burr, but once the burr's gone, this thing you can shave with. Let's see that on paper. Keep magazine paper nearby. Oh, that's nice. Immediate bite. Not terribly loud. And nothing really sticking to that blade. That burr is gone. And that is crazy sharp. Didn't take much. And we'll close that one. We'll take a look at this one. I think this is the one that I worked on earlier. No, this has got a burr. Oh. Yeah, this has got a burr on one side down towards the pivot. It's grabbing onto a lot of cloth. You can tell there's quite a bit of a burr because it's grabbing a lot of that stropping compound and taking it off my strop. I can feel it with my nail. This one I'm gonna have to take to the ceramic. Again, very light pressure. Well, practically no pressure. I'm just using the ceramic rod, the fine ceramic rod, and that took, I think that took the burr off completely. I can still feel it biting somewhere. I think it's right at the tip. I think I got it. Yep, not losing any cloth this time. And that, again, sharp as I'll get out. Yep. Nice. Just how I like it. The knife on the paper looks... Wait, which paper? How many knives have I... Since starting the channel? Or just overall? Because I've collected a lot of knives since starting the channel, but I also... I've also had a lot of knives before starting the channel. I'd like to say I've probably doubled my knives since I started. I'd like to say I had around 100 or just under 100 knives before I started the channel, and I know I'm above 200. I've probably more than doubled. At the same time, part of the reason I've probably more than doubled that was because I started... My collection consisted mainly of modern knives. I had a few fixed blades and other more unique knives. But since starting the channel, I got really into collecting traditional knives. Traditional knives being knives like this. Your old grandpa... I don't want to say old because this was actually a new knife. But some people call them grandpa knives. Old slip joint folders like this. I've gotten a real liking to, and have collected probably more of these since I started the channel than anything else. I still have collected a lot of modern knives, but I've gotten really... I've gained a real enjoyment and liking to these traditional knives. Mainly because I've also had a number of these or similar knives in my childhood, and so it's a little nostalgic having knives like this again. And it's just been... I've been enjoying finding these everywhere and collecting them. The Rough Riders especially, because they were so inexpensive to get, and like they're just really expensive and really pretty knives, that it was easy to sort of get myself lost into collecting them. And I've got probably at least, I'd say upwards of like maybe 75 to 80 traditional knives now. The modern knives still make the bulk of my collection. And what I mean by modern knives are like modern flippers, or things like this. This one's from Kaiser. This is one that I carry a lot. This is called the Mini Militar. But this is what most people would consider a modern knife. They're flippy, they're quick, they have modern materials like, higher end steels, handles or scales, things like that. What knife was advertised on the... Oh, what knife was that? Oh, on the paper I destroyed. I'm sorry. No, I didn't realize there was one on there. Oh, God. That was a Kershaw Dawn Star. That's something I don't have. It looks like it has a hawkbill blade on there. Now that I've crumpled it up. Yeah, Kershaw Dawn Star. Hawkbill blade. HCR 13 MOV. So not an expensive steel on this one. My guess, I don't see a price on it. My guess is probably be around like 30-40 bucks. Oh, there it is. Overall length 7.9, blade length 3.5-inch blade, HCR 13 MOV, glass filled nylon scales, $43.99 SRP. So probably closer to $30 retail is my guess for this one. Kershaw Hawkbill type blade. 45.01 retail. That was close. I have a few Kershaws. Actually, some of my two of my most favorite knives in my collection are made by Kershaw. Kershaw, for a long while, I considered just cheap, inexpensive knives until relatively recently, last couple of years. It's like they've made a comeback, in my eyes anyway. I know they've had higher end knives before. It's just I don't know. I didn't have an interest in them until I came across what's called the Bel Air, which is a modern crossbar lock knife. I think they call it a Duralock, is what Kershaw names it, and it's made out of a relatively high end steel called MagnaCut, which is a really nice steel. And I liked it so much that I've got two of them. And they're roughly retail. I think they go for about $140 to $150, roughly between there. $140 to $150. But they are just so smooth in operation. The knife steel is magnificent in terms of like the traits that the steel has. A lot of times when you hear people talk about knife steel, you have two different camps. You have people that are kind of like, I guess you could say, knife steel snobs, where they really go into the metallurgy of the steel that's on a knife. And then you have people that are like, as long as it's steel and it cuts and it doesn't snap in half, if I look at it funny, then they're happy with it. And I'm sort of like caught in between the two. Because as long as the knife works, I'm generally pretty happy. At the same time, I can't help but be intrigued by certain knife steels. Like, I do have a favorite knife steel, and that favorite knife steel is MagnaCut. I also have other favorites like Nitro V and 14C28N. So yes, I do get caught up on the metallurgy, but it doesn't necessarily keep me from purchasing a knife. Like HCR 13 MOV is a rather inexpensive steel. However, it still will cut. It'll still do what it needs to do. The only ones that I tend to be like a little iffy is when you start to get away from stainless steel, because it takes a little bit more care. You have to be a little bit more diligent in caring for the knife, as opposed to a stainless steel blade. You still have to care for a stainless steel blade, but they're a little bit better when it comes to corrosion resistance and stuff like D2. D2 was considered a wonder steel for a long time. That steel is used to make other steel tools. But it's a semi stainless steel, which means that it has a more likely chance of corroding than something that is stainless steel. So it does require a little bit more care. Also, being a harder steel, it tends to be a little bit more brittle. So while they'll keep their edge for a very long time and will stay sharp for a very long time, if they get dulled, a lot of times it's because they've gotten chipped, or and you end up having to reprofile. Or reprofiling a blade means you're taking a lot of steel off the blade and essentially remaking the edge, not just sharpening, but remaking the edge. And if a D2 steel knife ends up getting really dull, a lot of times you're going to have to reprofile the edge. And you also, because it's such a hard steel, you also need to make sure you're using the right tools for sharpening or honing. A lot of times, stone, a simple sharpening stone won't cut it. You'll need something like a diamond plate, like what this is here. This is diamond plates on it, um, that I can use to sharpen. This one's D2 steel. Like, this ceramic won't do much for it. But if I wanted to sharpen it, I use the coarse side of this, and I can get a nice sharp edge just from this coarse stone. But I carry that a lot because it does stay sharp. It's actually very fun to fidget with. And that's another reason why I like to carry some of those knives. Now this one, I'm looking at the well on this, and it looks already pretty damn clean. But I'm still going to oil the pivot. That's one thing. Another thing with case knives is they're usually pretty clean. And what I mean by oiling the pivot is I'll apply a little oil to where the knife and like the knife blade rotates or folds, and that just protects it a little better for when for wear and tear, because you've got metal bits in there rubbing against each other, and by putting a little oil in there, it helps protect that a little longer, so they don't wear out prematurely. And also, it helps with preventing corrosion, because if any moisture gets anywhere on this knife, more than likely it's going to collect in that same area where the pivot is. So if you're going to get knives starting to rust, a lot of times that's where it's going to start. So I always like to make sure I put oil in that pivot area, because that'll also help prevent moisture from accumulating and sitting there and then end up rusting. And this is stainless steel, but even stainless steel will rust eventually if you don't take care of it. And then the other thing I'll do is I'll then wax the blade, and I use this stuff called Wicked Wax. Here we go. And then I'll take a little bit of this wax. It's a food safe wax. And I know it doesn't make the blade look pretty anymore, but it will protect the blade from corrosion. I'll apply a little to each side. I know I'm not in the picture. I just realized I'm doing most everything off the edge of this camera. I don't know who's more excited to hold an auction. I think my girlfriend's more excited to hold an auction than I am. I didn't want to have to hold another one. Not that I have to, but I mean, now that I got a lot of stuff ready from the first auction that didn't sell, I mean, I just like to make room. The first one I felt was born, the first auction was born partially out of necessity because I got scammed. I needed to make sure I had money to cover it in case the investigation didn't go my way. Now I'm just at the point where I'd like to make a little extra money, clear up a little extra space, and be able to feed my daughter when she comes by for a visit. Because Blue is going to be spending a week in the area, first week of August. I'd like to be able to take them somewhere nice without losing my shirt. So whatever I make during this next auction tomorrow will go towards feeding them as well. I don't get a chance to see her all that often. Okay. Wax applied. See how sharp that is? That already cut the cloth. I got to be careful when I'm applying wax on the blades, because I've done it once already where I was applying wax to a blade's edge and I wasn't paying attention because I think I was talking with my girlfriend at the same time. And as I was running my finger over the edge and to put on wax, I inadvertently had my finger at the wrong angle or a wrong angle, and the blade was so sharp it immediately cut through the multiple layers of cloth. You can see the hole that this last one cut through. If it'll focus, there you go. See the hole that wasn't there before. But that knife that I was waxing immediately cut through and into my finger. It was that sharp. Like I almost didn't realize it until I felt the blade dragging through. Like I didn't even feel pain. I just felt it drag through the flesh of my skin. I was like, that's not good. And then the blood began. The amazing thing, though, is the knife was so sharp. And this is another reason why I make sure my knives are super sharp. The knife was so sharp that it healed that cut after I cleaned it off real quick and applied a bandage really fast. Even though it might have needed this, like if anybody else looked at it, they would have probably gone, you would need a stitch or two, like at least a couple stitches. And I would have been in full agreement. But that knife was so sharp that just having a bandage on it, a band-aid, it closed up and healed up perfectly fine. In fact, I don't even know if you can see the cut anymore. I can't even see the cut. That's how sharp that knife was. So I try to be a little bit more careful. My girlfriend's staring at me again. What? Sue.
Having fun?
Yes, I'm having a blast. I'm always having fun. It won't be much longer.
I miss you.
Anybody have any questions still? Wait, sharp cut? Yeah, sharp cuts heal quicker because exactly, there's no tearing of the skin. There's no, well, that's exactly it. There's just no tearing. It's just such a clean cut that as long as you're quick in treating it, they can heal really fast. Where did I put that paper? That was just, here it is. I'm going to wrap this back up. This knife is pretty much done. I don't think I need to deal with the well. The well was really clean on that one. Usually I'll do the whole thing. And I know Chasing Blades would probably look at me and go, no, you got to soak it in oil and stuff. I probably will eventually. But I just wanted to do a quickie on it. And that well, like I said, was looking nice and clean. I've seen dirty wells before, and that looked like somebody had gone through it already. A lot of the case knives tend to be really clean. I've only had like I've cleaned a few case knives, like the wells inside, and two of the case knives that I've done that to, like the Q-tips that I used and the toothpicks that I used came out perfectly clean. Like there was nothing in there, and that was looking about the same. Oh, have a good one, Jono. Thanks for stopping by, man. All right, so I don't know who else is in here. Like I said, if you got any questions, I'm going to continue cleaning knives while I'm at it. Which one was this one? This was the green apple, and then this one was the black curly oak. We're going to look at the green apple again. Oh god, I love this color. I have another green apple coming, but it didn't make it here in time for this unboxing. It'll be in time for next week's unboxing. But it's a green apple, but it's gonna be a Sodbuster Junior, which means it's gonna be just one knife or one blade, uh, and I think just one bolster, or might not even have a bolster. I don't think they do have bolsters, so it's gonna be entirely green, this dark and light green together. But that's probably the most inexpensive of them. It's just a dynamic duo. Okay, so that's pretty much it, though. Didn't really have much else to share. It was just more about chatting away and talking about knives, or in this case, the auction and the paracords and all that fun stuff. I quite obviously, have a lot more knives to go over and clean and sharpen, or not sharpen, but clean and remove the burr to. So I am going to continue to do that. Unless somebody else has got a question, I think that'll be it for today. But I still have fun doing this, regardless how many people are watching. I could talk about knives all day. Yeah, I see a good sized burr on this one. I can visually see the burr. So we're just gonna go straight to the ceramic. Try to remove this entirely. I'm just using a smooth ceramic too. And then the strop. That's looking better. There's an interesting burr that's on the side there. Oh, that just came right off. Okay, I think we're good with that. Let's see that blade again. Doesn't take long. Oh. That. Perfect. I didn't feel any drag on that whatsoever. Again, you just take off the burr, and these are freaking razor sharp. I don't know why they don't finish it. It's weird to me. You're watching Kenny fight with rubber to put into Bob's vacation home. What is Bob's vacation home? Is that just the home he's gonna have while you're like cleaning out his regular environment, whatever? So is that like his temporary housing for when you're doing that? I'm guessing. I'm taking that as I'm guessing wildly here. Okay, let's close that blade. Actually, let's apply some oil to that right now while they're both closed. That's more than enough oil. Might have even overdone it a little. Bought Bob a bird backpack. Now new plans for hidey spots and have a styrofoam rock wall coming tomorrow to add into it. Ah, voila. Bob's travel trailer. Bob has to be the most spoiled lizard I've ever known. Hands down. And I've seen a lot of YouTube videos with people that own lizards as pets. But Bob's definitely got to be the most spoiled one I've ever seen. Okay, let's look at that spade blade. I think I removed the burr from the spade blade earlier. Already. I think this is the one I was originally working on. There's still a bit of a burr on the very edge. Or on the very tip. Still there. Let's see if I can't just lightly on the ceramic. There we go. Pretty sure that's done. Oh, that's smooth. I think that was the smoothest edge yet. And all that's left is to go, ooh, that was close. Thought I cut a hole in this thing. All that's left is to wax this. I'm going to take a look at that well. Again, the well on this. Now, I know Chasing Blades takes really good care of his knives, even when they come in. But this well looks super clean. I don't think I'm going to bother with it right now. I probably will go over it again and apply, try to get a Q-tip in there, a small Q-tip, just to make sure. But I don't want to do that right now. I'll do that a little bit later. I just want to get the blades waxed And I think... Oh, you want to take them out and about. So you actually want to take him out and about. Like I said, most spoiled lizard ever. I don't know if I should be doing this with a knife, both blades out, but trying to be careful. Yep, that cut. Not me, but that cut the cloth. I'm very conscious of how it feels now. And if I feel it, feel the cloth drag over the blade. That's when I immediately check. But since I'm not using these knives all the time, and a lot of times they're going to sit in my collection, I always want to make sure I apply a good amount of wax to each blade. Because I just don't feel like dealing with corrosion. I don't think anybody does. I mean, yeah, sure, I can buff it out easily enough, but why not just prevent it in the first place? I just think it's easier that way. And then if I have to buff any out, no big deal, but again, don't want to have to bother with it in the first place. There we go. I'll just wax up the bolsters a little bit. I think we're good. Okay, so I think it's pretty much just us. So I think this is where I'm going to leave it for tonight. I had fun. Hope you guys had fun watching. Anybody still out there watching, or anybody watching this after the fact. Check here. Okay, so tomorrow, reminder, I will be holding my second Whatnot auction. And like I said, there's gonna be a little bit of everything. Oh, I forgot to mention, there's gonna be DVDs as well. So older DVD movies. I think one or two of them have never even been opened before. But I've got DVD movies that since I have my PS5, I can play them on there, but I don't really use that to play movies. But I'll be putting those up for sale. I've got knives up for sale. I've got guitar pedals up for sale. Some really interesting shirt up for sale. And a lot of paracord ready to go for sale. So if any of that interests you, I have a link to Whatnot below. You can join there. Again, you don't have to buy anything. If you guys just want to show up for support, chat away during the show, that's freaking great. I'd enjoy that as well. But yeah, just trying to clear out some stuff, clear out some space, and make enough money to take my daughter out to a nice restaurant or something when they visit. So, thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys had fun. If you liked what you saw, please drop a like down below. And if you haven't yet, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. And also don't forget to check out all the links down below. I've got stuff that I use linked up that I use for sharpening, for maintaining my knives, protecting my knives and stuff. Also, the link to Whatnot, my video game channel as well. Be sure to check those all out. And that's going to be it. So thanks again. And I do plan on doing another unboxing, although I don't expect there to be a whole lot. So it's probably going to be more chat than unboxing next week. It's Saturday, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. I don't expect it to do a ton. There's only probably going to be a handful of knives, that one. But do check it out. And hope to see you guys in the next video. So thanks again, you guys in chat. Awesome as always. Have a good night. Bye-bye. I don't have a closing music song. I'm just going to end the stream. I'm just going to end it like poof. Bye-bye. Bye.